Anyone else like to share? How about you in the back with the glasses, sir?
My name's Bobby, and I am an addict.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
You know, you folks aren't here because you're gamblers. You are here because you are terrible gamblers.
Hey, Bobby.
These folks don't need to stop doing what they're doing. They just need to get better at it. Who's dealing?
Please.
Who said?
Let's roll. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people of Boston, and everybody else in between, from Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota. Let's roll. It's the Wicked Wednesday, which means Pavano will step up and join us in a couple of moments at time. We'll talk Canadian Football League. What is it now? Week 4? Or are we already in the week 5? I think it might be week 5 already, man. Time motherfucking flies when you get old. So let's get down to business. What do we have going on here tonight in the late night hours? As far as games that we want to jump in on, the Los Angeles Dodgers is a game that I want to jump in on Kenta Maeda, but I believe I've already jumped in on it. Chicago White Sox are beating the St. Louis Cardinals right now, I see. All right, so the Dodgers are minus 160. You know, Mariners and Angels, I think I'm going to pass. Ooh, Dodgers are down to minus 150 right now. Dodgers are down to minus 150. I'm taking the Dodgers. Good. I'm glad that it's come down. What is it? Lucchesi versus Maeda. Dodgers lost last night, even better. We really liked Colorado this evening. I was a big fan of the Colorado Rockies, and they're up 11-1. We talked about this earlier today, man. Shelby Miller's a fucking gas can. And a lot of blowouts here. 11-1. It's 18-2 right now for the Cleveland Indians. 4-3. 4-3 over right now for the I see that the 4-4. Brewers just tied it up. The Brewers just tied it up. We're on the Milwaukee Brewers here this evening. We'll keep our eye on this baseball board, but as far as late night picks are concerned, we're just taking the LA Dodgers here. I'm not taking anything in this Angels and Mariners game. I'm going to lay the 50 cents with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, we appreciate those of you joining us here this evening. We have quite a bit of stuff to hit here, actually, tonight. World Cup, the final is now officially set. We've got Croatia and France. It's not the picturesque matchup that people were hoping for with England and France. France are minus 105 in regulation. The draw is plus 230. Croatia is plus 375. To lift the trophy, France minus 225. Croatia minus plus 175. France minus 225. Croatia plus 175. Heartbreak for the Lions today as England scores 5 minutes into the match. The dream was alive that they were going to make it back to the final and take on France. They were the better side, very, very similar to the Belgium match against France. Belgium were the better side early, but, you know, England faded. Almost like a fighter that couldn't fight at that pace and that tempo for an entire 5 rounds. They started to slow down. And, you know, once again, we'll sort of use the hockey comparison. You know, yesterday we talked about it when a team is all over a team early and they don't score, the other team inevitably always scores. And when England was up 1-0, they were almost clowning Croatia for about a 10, 15-minute period. You know, they were up. Croatia were on their heels. England just looked like a fucking much better, faster, younger, crisper side. And they nearly scored to go up 2-0 numerous times. You know, good 4 or 5 opportunities they had, like legitimate opportunities to go up 2-0. They never did. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, wow, this is going to come back and hurt you. But to be honest, I didn't think Croatia was going to score. You know, like the game really wasn't going anywhere. Croatia had no life. Croatia had no vision. It's not like they were creating chances or anything like that. But once again, similar to like when France took the lead on Belgium and Belgium just fucking fell apart, England just fucking collapsed after the fucking goal was scored. And, you know, I know there's no timeouts per se, but that's when you actually do fake an injury. You don't do a dive or anything like that, but somebody just got to lie down and shit. You got to stop it. And, you know, it's sort of like football when you're playing against a team that's going into no huddle and stuff, you know. You tell a lineman, listen, you got to lie down for a second here, kids. We got to slow this shit down for a minute. England just never got composed again. England just never got composed, you know, once the goal was scored. And then I think they just sort of thought, well, it's going to go to penalty kicks. And Croatia's already gone to 2 straight penalty kicks. I got to tell you, it was a hell of a motherfucking goal, though. I mean, that just, you know, the header, the pass, the way that it just sort of developed. You give Croatia credit. Croatia, very, very resilient. You know, listen, man, these guys only played in their first World Cup. They were only a country in 1994. They played in their first World Cup. So very impressive, their international success that they've had over the years, culminating with this finals appearance. I still believe France are the better side, and I think France are going to win, yet anything can motherfucking happen. And, you know, as we saw with Belgium, England doesn't surprise me that they hit the wall, but you know, as we saw with Belgium, you can, you know, Belgium fucking were 5-0 in the tournament, all right? Belgium had never lost in the tournament. They look good, and then, man, it's like a boxer aging in between rounds. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what's going to happen. I mean, France could be flat, you know, for all we know, but I get the feeling they're not, you know? It's going to be a close match, though. It's not like France are going to rout Croatia or anything like that. Should be, you know, should be intriguing. Is it a sexy matchup? No. You know, it's for the casual soccer fan. Like someone like Pavano, we'll ask Pavano his take. What do you think of Croatia and France? He'll be like, oh, boring. Right? Like this is more like a soccer purist will respect the matchup, but the television networks, you know, they were hoping for England. England and France just sort of writes itself, right? Croatia and France is just sort of, you know. Nice to see Sooner Lisa in the house. Yet, it was a nice run for England. You know, they don't have any reason to be. There's no reason to hang their head or anything like that. Now, I think they're going to lose the 3rd place match to Belgium. And I don't even know why they bothered playing this fucking, you know, this 3rd place fucking match. Like, really? Like, if you're on England, do you really want to hang around right now and have to fucking play on Saturday? It's ridiculous. Like, why do they do this? It's just dumb. Like, why would you, you know, the players are drained, man. The World Cup's long enough as it is. It started fucking nearly a month ago. It's intense pressure. It's emotionally draining for these players. These dudes on England are emotionally spent. And now you're going to roll them out against Belgium, and like Belgium still want to fucking be there. It's, it's just dumb. Like you imagine like making the fucking, you imagine making a team that loses, the two teams that lose in the AFC and the NFC Conference Championships game play for a third place finish the following week. They'd be like, why? Like the Olympics, okay, it's a bronze medal. I get it, the bronze medal game in the Olympics, but the way it's not in the World Cup, it's different. There's no medals and shit. You know what I mean? You're playing for the championship. You didn't win the championship. And to ask these teams to play, a couple of days after the toughest loss of their careers is, it's kind of fucking stupid. Now, generally, the games go over. Like for years, it's almost been free money, man. You just grab that over of these third place games because this is when they can open things up, right? It's more of an exhibition. They'll open things up. They'll get more creative. It's much more offensively minded, generally, a third place game. Yet, if memory serves me correctly, the last one actually played to the under. But we'll get back to the little World Cup talk a little bit later on. We gave you the numbers, a lot of other stuff I want to get to here this evening. I don't even know where to start, man. There's a lot of stuff going on out there in the sports world right now. Well, I don't know if we can say the sports world. It's all kind of fucked up, but so let's start off with Pacman Jones. Pacman Jones is in the airport in Atlanta. And, as I tweeted earlier in the day, these aren't words that you hear people say very often, that it's not Pacman Jones's fault in this instance. As Pacman Jones was in the airport, it's on video. I'm sure you've seen it. He's walking in the airport. And some dude that works at the airport, but not like in a, just some dude that works, at the airport. Not like it's not like an employee came up to talk to him. You know what I mean? It was like a guy that looked like he was finished work or something to work there. And he's walking next to Pacman. On the video, you see they sort of exchange words and shit. But it's more Buddy mouthing off to Pacman Jones. And you can sort of see in the video, Pacman Jones is sort of keeping his head down and he sort of says "fuck off," But Pacman Jones, you can tell, isn't instigating it. But then Buddy got in his face, and Pacman Jones dropped his Popeye's chicken. And Pacman Jones got pretty pissed off. I was wondering, too. I sort of saw that, and at first I couldn't figure it out. I was like, is that the chick's fucking Popeye's chicken? And then I saw Marcellus Wiley's tweet, and he said, damn, man, Pacman didn't get pissed until the Popeyes hit the ground. But it's true, so you sort of see in a scuffle, a bag of chicken, Popeye's chicken, fucking hits the ground. and then Pacman Jones is pretty perturbed by that. So motherfucker knocked the Popeyes box out of his hand. And then Buddy fucking took a swing at Pacman Jones. He took a shot, but the thing is, the guy was bigger than Pacman Jones, right? Like Pacman Jones isn't that big of a dude in real life. So the dude was fucking bigger than Pacman Jones. I don't know if he knew if it was Pacman Jones and he started mouthing off. I don't know if it was just some incident that happened. I don't know. I don't know how it started. You know what I mean? All you see is them walking. And so Buddy takes a shot. Buddy takes a shot, and he probably thinks that he's going to fuck Pacman Jones up because the dude was bigger than he was. But you could tell it was a young kid. Like, the guy was in his early 20s type shit. And, you know, Pacman Jones, number one, isn't big, but number one, he's fucking insane. So that's one thing, kid. That, you know, you picked the fight with the wrong dude. And then number two, the guy is one of the best defensive backs in the fucking National Football League. Like, you think he's intimidated by some kid running his mouth and fucking in a fucking airport in Atlanta? And even though you were bigger than him, Pacman's a professional athlete who's a fucking hell of a lot faster than you were. Pacman Jones ain't going to be a professional boxer anytime soon. Pacman's used to just shooting people, right? I'm not saying Pacman Jones is a good guy. I mean, you know, he did fucking shoot someone outside a strip club in Vegas, right? So, NBA All-Star Weekend. So, I mean, Pacman Jones has done like 22 stupid things over the years. Yet in this instance, he kind of was minding his own business. And, you know, put it this way, like the dude that started it got charged. Pacman didn't. Like the cops, I was in an airport, so fucking cops showed up right away and shit. And they arrested the fucking employee of the airport, but they didn't arrest Pacman Jones because witnesses said Pacman Jones was minding his own business and this kid attacked him. Yeah, the guy's an idiot. Like Sports with Scott is stating. So basically, number one, yeah, you started a fight at work. You got fired. You got fired. You got arrested for starting a fight in a fucking airport, which is like worse than starting a fight on the street type shit. You can't start fights in an airport. Like, it's like you're going to be on a no-fly list and shit. Like you started a fight in an airport. You got fired. And you got knocked fucking down by fucking a dude half your size who's like a whale, you know, you got knocked out by Pacman Jones. So, like the kid went at Pacman Jones, but Pacman sort of fucking, he's an athlete. So, Pacman got real and started dancing around and moving and shit. And once again, Pacman wasn't going to do anything. Like, there was a chick worker that, like, fucking was in Pacman's face. She's like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And I don't know what, and that's when the Popeyes hit the fucking ground. Like when Buddy took the first shot, the Popeyes didn't hit the ground yet. But when the fucking Popeyes hit the ground, fucking Pacman was pissed, fuck. And like you watch it, like I said, I caught it at first. I was like, damn, the Popeyes. And you see the chicken hit the fucking ground and the bag go. And then Pacman fucking said something to him, probably about the Popeyes box. And the fucking kid said something, and that's when Pacman fucking went after the guy. So then the kid sort of went in a fucking boxing stance, and the kid was tall, fuck. So Pacman Jones is short. Pacman Jones, like, basically did like a tomahawk punch, fuck. He sort of ran at the guy and fucking jumped and like fucking punched up, hit the kid in the face. Fucking, the kid was wearing like a worker fucking vest, you know what I mean? The reflector vest. He's probably one of those dudes like out on the tarmac. Pacman sort of grabbed the fucking vest and pulled the kid down a bit. You know, the kid ended up, basically, if you see the video, like, you're lucky, kid, like there's people around. Because like I said, Pacman Jones is crazy and he would have stomped your fucking head in after. You were down at, Pacman got the kid down with the punch. The kid is on his back, face up, man, and Pacman's about to fucking nail him. And everyone in the airport's like, whoa, hey. You know, so the kid, yeah. Like, you got punked on fucking, hey, you're getting talked about by my show right now even. You got punked on fucking the internet. You got knocked the fuck out by Pacman Jones. You somehow managed to make Pacman Jones sympathetic and a victim, which has never happened in the history of the world. You got arrested, you got fired, and you got taken to the hospital. Fuck, it's a great day. Next time, you should probably keep your mouth shut, kid. No, man. You know, the whole time, Pacman Jones is thinking, fuck, should I pull the gun that I have in my backpack out? Fuck, you know what I mean? Like, like Pacman Jones probably muttered something to the kid like that when he's going, saying, kid, I swear to God, I'll fucking murder you. Like, Pacman, I'm sure, said something like, really, like Pacman Jones has anger fucking issues, guys. The guy's shotting people before, fuck. All the chaos at NBA All-Star Weekend was him. Like, he was a one-man wrecking crew. He's a nut job, this guy. Like, this kid's fucking lucky he was in an airport and it wasn't outside on the street or something, because this kid would fucking be in the hospital for a long time, if not dead right now. A lot of the DBs in the NFL are nut jobs. Another fucking nut job in the NFL is Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib always has shit going on in the offseason where, you know what, though? Pacman Jones is probably just a magnet for chaos, right? Pacman's just a magnet for chaos. So it just trouble ends up around him. But Aqib Talib's like the same way. Like, remember Aqib Talib? Didn't he shoot himself in the foot outside a strip club? So he claimed. I don't know. Like I said, every summer there's there's a Talib story. He pulled a gun on someone. He threatened someone. Fucking, he got into a fight with someone. Like honestly, like right now, and I've said this a million times, we're in arrest season right now, guys. It's funny. I called this, if you remember, on the radio show about 2 weeks ago. I said, yeah, we're entering the part of the NFL season right now where coaches fucking are praying. Every day they wake up and they just hope they don't see on the internet, or every time a coach's phone rings right now, it's like, oh, fuck, who did what? Fuck. Like, think, like, you know what I mean? So just in the last couple of fucking hours today, Pacman Jones got into a fight in an airport. Marcellus Wiley's being sued for sexual fucking assault. And, and LeSean McCoy is fucking being accused of fucking hiring people to beat the shit out of 2 chicks in a home that he owns. That's just in the last 12 hours. Fuck. We're just getting started, boys. Don't worry. And don't worry. Like, we'll check in with the college kids. It's the same shit right now. Every time fucking Urban Meyer's phone rings, he's just thinking, oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck, yeah. What'd the kid do? Fuck, did he punch a cop? Yeah? Like, yeah, did he get caught with meth? What did he do? Like, dude, what up, Chaz? Talib shot a gun on the street and his mom took the blame. Yeah, that's it, allegedly. Yeah, everything's allegedly. Oh, yeah, I know. My bad. Sorry. I forgot, too. Oh, yeah, Brandon Browner got charged with murder. Fuck. Kellen Winslow got charged with kidnapping and rape last 2 weeks ago or so, but he's not in the league, you know what I mean? But, yeah. So as I stated, so Pacman Jones actually not guilty on this one. Now, there's actually a website. Days without NFL player arrest. You guys remember I checked in on this website a couple of weeks ago. I did it actually on Patreon. This is an interesting stat here. This is good. NFL players on average get arrested once a week over the course of a year. Let's see. There's the NFL being accused of some serious felony numbers here. They're saying that there's been 871 convicted felons that have played in the NFL since 2000. The numbers are kind of skewed here, though, depending on the charges, from drunk driving to other offenses. You know what, though? Like, in reality, though, football players still get arrested less than the average general population does. But let's be real, though. And, you know, Scott Engel brought this up the other day because we were talking about, I don't even know what we were talking about. This was even before the LeSean McCoy stuff. Oh, it was LeSean McCoy. Oh, yeah, and I brought up the fact that the guy on the Giants, there was a dead body in his fucking basement. Remember that? That was last week. It's hard to keep up with this shit. But, yeah, there was the dude on the Giants, the cornerback on the Giants. There was someone got murdered in his house. And it wasn't him, but it turned out it was his brother. For some reason, his brother fucking killed someone and fucking dumped the body in the fucking basement of his brother's house who plays in the NFL. That's what I'm saying about this LeSean McCoy shit, man. You got to let the story play out. God knows the truth, man. I don't know, man. LeSean McCoy, it sounds like you got some weird shit going on out there in Georgia. I'll tell you that much. I don't know what happened. I don't know what you did. But I'll tell you, like, if you actually did plot, they're going to be able to figure it out. Like I said, all you got to do is if there's really an investigation, which there sort of isn't, it's all hearsay about LeSean McCoy. I mean, every time, like, if I get if a home invasion happens here, did the owner of my building set it up? I don't know, man. For all we fucking know, the people in the house hired people to fucking do that, to make him look bad, to try to make him go down, to frame him. Yeah, but the guy asking for jewelry, but we don't know. I mean, wouldn't you find it a little weird, Jazz, that like 20 days ago, LeSean McCoy would go to fucking court and try to get that property back? I mean, if this turns out that LeSean McCoy hired a couple of goons or his buddies, whatever, and he told them, go to the house and take the shit back, and whatever happens, if they get in your way, fuck them up, then this really is O.J. Simpson 2.0. I mean, because O.J. Simpson went to jail for taking back his own property. So, like, it would be just the irony of this that another Buffalo Bill running back would do the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know the story, fuck. I don't know the story. As I stated. Now listen, if they really do investigate LeSean McCoy, because right now he's not under investigation, right? But the home invasion is, but if they investigate, it's pretty simple, fuck. I mean, then LeSean McCoy obviously fucking texted someone, said something to someone along the way, and someone will rat him out. Something's not right, but I don't know. There's always a weird fucking story, as I stated, with NFL football players. Doesn't seem to be, this doesn't happen with baseball players. Like I said the other day, what happens, what do hockey players do? The craziest thing hockey players do, like they might fucking, they might crash a fucking pickup truck into a Tim Hortons. There's definitely a pattern of violent acts by football players, more so than other sports. Like NBA basketball players. Like, what do you hear about NBA basketball players? Yeah, and what NBA basketball players do? Not much, fuck. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of scandal around them, really. You know what it is? It's basically, it's not a surprise. Yeah, CTE, comes into it a bit, but you know what a big part of this is actually, is just the fact that football is a violent game. Pretty simple. These dudes are violent people. They play a violent sport, and they've been violent people their entire life. And it's hard to turn it off. Why do you think, it's the same shit with MMA fighters. MMA fighters are always doing stupid shit outside the cage. Why? Because they're fucking nut jobs. It's pretty simple. It's, if you're taught to hit people, and you're taught, basically just to take steroids and fight through it and do this, it's just, you're conditioned to fucking fuck people up. So I think it's hard to turn it off. At least that's a portion of it. I mean, I just think you see, basketball players are just nicer guys. You know what I mean? Like baseball players don't have the same violent tendencies. You can't blanket coverage everybody with anything, but there's no disputing that football players do stupider things more often than other professional athletes. Yeah, you can blame, listen, I've been at the forefront of this and saying that's the CTE is a big problem in football. That's why I like the new tackling rules they're going to try to implement. But it also, listen, it comes down to, was it football's fault Aaron Hernandez did what he did? No. Urban Meyer knew that Aaron Hernandez was a fucking gangster. Everyone knew. Like they knew, they told him, everyone knew. And Aaron Hernandez, just whatever. That's who he was, right? So it gets facilitated. Like I said, like you get these guys who are basically violent dudes. It's like, whatever. Yeah, I was a gangbanger. Yeah, whatever. I raped a bunch of chicks, or I punched chicks all the time, but I still got a scholarship to LSU anyways. And then I got through LSU, now I'm in the NFL. It's just sort of like I'm just stating that football players, college coaches, and high school coaches, they don't really give a shit about character all that much, right? They just give a shit that, this kid's fucking, he might be a fucking nut job, this kid, but he's fucking good. So fine with me. Like I said, like a guy like Urban Meyer and these college coaches, not every college coach, but I use him as an example just because he's got quite the track record. Urban Meyer, his players have like fucking 53 arrests and like fucking multiple murders. I mean, it just is what it is. So Meyer will defend his kids and say, you know what, I take offense to you saying that I don't recruit good kids and shit. It's like, all right, Urban, leave your daughter alone with your football team. Will you do it? Probably not. No, probably not. But you don't mind other people's daughters around with your football team. You know, that's the way these coaches are with college. You know, all these college coaches, all their daughters are all tweeting, all the bitching all the time about shit. It's like, you know, you're always defending shit. So it's like same shit. So like Art Briles at Baylor. So Briles, so you have no problem with your kids, your daughters being around the football team? I mean, you covered up 52 rapes when you were there. So I guess just everyone else's daughter is a fucking slut, not yours. Right? Like that's the way they're scumbags. They're scumbags. Like you can't, it's not just CT and shit. It's like, no. A lot of these kids are bad kids and a lot of the coaches are bad people. And you're combining bad people with bad coaches, with bad intentions, with a lot of money, and you end up with pure evil. I mean, you know, not everything is always other people's faults. Yeah, well, I'm being, yeah. Who's being racist? NBA players get arrested more often for violent crimes. No, they don't. That's crazy talk, Cam. No, I'm not being, no, there's crazy white football players. I'm not even looking at it. There's no white black in this with me. Yeah, what violent crimes do NBA players get arrested for? Yeah, like Richie Incognito is a fucking nut job. He's white. But anyways, no, leave race out of this. I wasn't even looking at the chat. We'll get Pavano in a minute here. But leave race out of this. I'm not talking about race. I didn't bring up race in this. I was talking about the sport itself, all right? And football players are just violent and college, etc. There's a bunch of white jarhead job. I'm not talking about race, but yeah, but I just want to hear like name. I don't even know like what was one violent NBA arrest? Like I don't like off the top of my head. I don't know. O.J. Simpson killed 2 people. Ray Carew shot his pregnant wife. Brandon Browner just got arrested for murdering someone. Aaron Hernandez murdered 2 people. Shot another one outside of a strip club. Tommy Kane's in jail for murdering his wife. That's just off the top of my head. Oh yeah, the other dude, fucking Browner, the other guy, Sharper, he's in jail for drugging fucking 42 women. And the NBA, I don't know. Like off the top of my head, what's the big? I can't even think of an NBA arrest. Like I don't know. Jahlil Okafor got arrested for punching someone that got in his face on the street once 3 years ago for saying the Sixers suck. Like, I don't know. Like, what am I forgetting? Like, who in the NBA ever does anything? Fuck. I know. Fucking. I know, man. Lock your door. DeMar DeRozan's in the building. Fuck. I know. DeMar DeRozan right now is like feeding his kid. Fuck. Tucking the kid in to go to bed. You know, like think of what like right now, an NFL player right now is walking around with a gun, about to get fucking in a fight somewhere. What are NBA players doing right now? Tristan Thompson's fucking someone that's not Khloe Kardashian. DeMar DeRozan's tucking his kid in. Kyle Lowry's fucking eating ice cream. Fucking Kawhi Leonard's fucking sitting in a fucking hotel fucking room somewhere thinking, when the fuck am I going to know where I'm going to be? LeBron James is stiffing fans in LA at pizza parlors. Like, you know, let's go down the list here of what our NBA players are up to this summer compared to what NFL players are up to this summer. All right. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, look, all of us are like stretching here to think, like, who even got arrested in the NBA? I don't know. Oh, yeah, the malice at the palace. Fuck, Ron Artest. All right, no, that's true. That's a couple of names. What? Allen Iverson never did anything. Allen Iverson hit someone over the head with a bowling ball or something when he was a teenager. That was before he was in the NBA. What did Gilbert Arenas do? Gilbert Arenas pulled a gun in a locker room once, fucking around. I'm not going to dispute it. Kobe Bryant, yes. So you named, I'll give you Kobe Bryant. I mean, Allen Iverson getting in a fight in a bowling alley when he's 16 years old. Come on. All right, let's bring Pavano in here. We got flow in there, man. That was a fast. We got rolling there. Talking about Pacman Jones, and of course the chat's got to get all crazy. Hey, speaking of LeBron James, so. Yeah. LeBron James fucking was sort of yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. Keon Clark was crazy. Keon Clark liked to party. Yeah, I'll give you that. Keon Clark brought it. Yeah, once again, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. All right, are the Dodgers winning yet or what? Fuck. No, they're losing 1-0. That's just fucking great. Man, it's 18-1 right now. We're only in the 5th inning. My DraftKings team must be doing good. I'm stacked with Colorado Rockies. 18. Fuck, I like the Rockies a lot tonight, too. I bet the game pretty good, but, what more can I fucking do? We're still tied at 4 in this Brewers and Marlins game. Dodgers are up. Dodgers are down 1-0 right now in the 2nd inning. Seattle are up 1-0. Man, the St. Louis Cardinals. Fuck, man. I'm starting to really dislike the St. Louis Cardinals. Fuck. Cardinals are losing 4-0. And, of course, Oakland screwed us last night. But tonight, of course, they got to be winning 7-3 right now. Now, we're going to stay away from this topic with Pavano. Pavano knows his sports, but if we talk about current events or anything sort of race-related, pop culture-ish, it'll get awkward. So we're gonna keep in the lane. We're gonna stick it in the lane, and we're gonna talk CFL football and Mountain West football with Pavano. We played Pavano. We played music for Pavano, but Pavano ripped the music last week. So Kenny Fong says, "Fuck him, no music." Pavano, what's going on, Pavano?
Did I rip Kenny Fong? I don't even remember I did that. Wow, I didn't mean to hurt him intentionally and personally, make it personal or anything.
He's not hurt. you just don't get the music anymore.
Okay.
You don't.
It's just little old me. You don't need music for me.
Look at Pavano shaking things up. You look like you're now in the green room, Pavano.
Yeah, we're down in the entertainment room because we're getting new carpet in the office room. So got to make some changes this week.
I think it's a better look. It's plain, but it's better.
Yeah.
The light is better and stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's good. Yeah, we might make this a little. We might show up here in this part of the house a little more often. Yeah.
You know, like I said, or if you want to hang on to the last that last look, go ahead. Yeah, like Jazz remembers exactly. You're like, oh, I never said anything about Kenny. Jazz remembers 100%.
I know it was unfortunate incident. Let's put it that way. But actually, you know what? I was hearing the last little bit of conversation talking about NFL and NBA arrests. I've got actually a great list here. NFL arrests, the top 10 players in terms of NFL arrests, in terms of the number of incidents that they have been arrested for. It's quite the list. Top 10. We've got Bryant McKinney at number 10 with 4 arrests. Ray McDonald, number 9 with 4 arrests. Steve Foley, number 8 with 4 arrests. Leroy Hill, 4 arrests at 7. Cedric Benson, 4 arrests at 6. Dwight Smith, 4 arrests at number 5. Chris Henry, 6 arrests at number 4. Alden Smith, who of course has been just a recent player, 6 arrests, number 3. Kenny Britt at 7 arrests, number 2. And then number 1, topping the list, most arrests in NFL history, the guy that has been made to look like a saint after what happened to him earlier today, the one and only Adam Pacman Jones, with a whopping 10 arrests, number 1 in the NFL.
Yeah. You know what, though? Some of the arrests, yeah, like Pacman's been arrested, I know, for like drinking on the street once and shit. Like if you go down some of the list, and ironically enough, he didn't get shot for, I think, shooting a couple of people outside of a strip club in Las Vegas. Left the guy paralyzed, actually, too. A friend of Heath Herring's was an MMA fighter. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that he looked like an angel today, because I like to know what was actually said before the video started running, to be honest, between those two. Yeah, Pacman wins the day right now, except he doesn't, because, you know, right now, Roger Goodell is looking at him. You know what I mean? Like the NFL is looking right now. They're like, oh, yeah, you dodged a bullet today, motherfucker, but you know, we're watching you, Pacman, and watch. I wouldn't be shocked if in a couple of days, Pacman, something happens to him again. Yeah, he's the Gretzky. He's the Gretzky of arrests.
Yeah, the great one. In this case, the great jailbird one. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
He's a pretty good player. He's not the player he once was. But he's a pretty good player. Let me refresh here. Let's see if anyone else is. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to fucking get to, actually. See, Pavano, I had a lot of shit to get to. The time flew by. But hold on a sec. We'll get to the CFL in a minute. The other thing I wanted to get to today, and of course it's race related, so this is just fucking great, is, I want to fucking tell Papa John's to go fuck themselves. And you know, I've ordered Papa John's a couple of times over the last 6 months, and Bruce Chad's going to be happy. And this is a direct result. Look what you did, Papa John, you racist fucking piece of shit. I ordered tonight.
Bruce Chad's head spinning right now. He's going nuts. He's like into this huge state of joy and ecstasy right now. I can just imagine seeing that Domino's box. It's like dollar signs in his eyes.
Not a pizza. This would be a mini pizza. Imagine making pizza this small. It's actually the dessert.
Dessert box, yeah. I always like the Cinetarts.
Chocolate lava.
Oh, nice. Anything with chocolate in it. I love the Cinetarts at Pizza Hut. I remember they used to have those. Those were excellent. Those
there's like chocolate, whatever in this thing. So, you know, I remember last time I fucking put this in the microwave. It was a big mistake. I burnt my mouth like big time. I got to be careful. But yeah. So Papa John's is on a conference call acting like a racist prick. But we already knew he was a racist fucking prick, this guy. We already knew that he was a racist prick. That dude. Yet, you know, once again, it leads back to they got to take him off the box, and he's still the fucking president. Like, they knew about this tape too. Like, this isn't good. Like, Papa John's basically tried to cover it, told people like, oh yeah, we're trying to distance ourselves from this fucker, but you still have him on the fucking, as the face of your fucking company on the box and shit like that. They lost $96 million earlier in the day in stocks. Maybe that'll be a little bit of a wake-up call for them. But it's fucking hilarious to me that this dipshit, and so get this, Papa John was on the board of directors of Louisville University. Like, in Louisville, like, really? So what, was his Burger King the fucking chairman? Like, who's the treasurer? Fuck. You know, the San Diego Chicken? So, like, Papa John somehow, a drunk, racist, fucking pizza guy, somehow is on the board. That's the university system for you, all right? You want to talk pure corruption from Ohio State and Penn State and covering up pedophiles and rapes and fucking ripping kids off and student loans, sending hundreds of thousands of kids out every year that don't have a fucking hope in hell in real society of getting a fucking job. You want to go down? College is a scam. It's the biggest fucking scam. And then conversely, you got this fuckstick that somehow is on the board of directors of an institution of so-called higher learning, but the only thing they teach you to do at Louisville, the University of Louisville, is basically fucking learn how to cheat on your wife with a hooker, cheat on your exam, cheat to win a fucking basketball fucking championship. And I could go on. Oh, yeah, give hookers to recruits, and I could go fucking on. But fuck you, Louisville. You're a cesspool of fucking contamination. You always fucking have been. You're a bunch of racist, fucking corrupt, cheating fucking pricks. And I'll never fucking eat at Papa John's ever fucking again until you get that KKK motherfucker off your fucking box. And secondly, you can suck my dick, Louisville fucking University. And now you guys, oh, big Louisville, now you kick him off because you never knew he was a fucking racist, right? What about you, Peyton Manning? He's your best friend. You don't know he's a racist either, I'm sure. Just like you, Jerry Jones, right? Fuck you all. Fuck Papa John's. Fuck Jerry Jones. Fuck Peyton Manning. Fuck you, Papa John. Fuck Louisville. Fuck you all. All. And then finally, I see today that the kids that play on the 2013 Louisville Cardinal basketball team are suing the NCAA because they want their championship back. If anybody should be getting sued, it's your fucking corrupt, prostitute, adulterating, sleazy, racist motherfucking asses. Michigan is the real champion. Michigan. If anyone should be suing anybody, it should be us and you. I don't understand this. You vacated the title because you're cheaters. You're corrupt. You're cheaters. So you have to vacate the fucking title. I don't see how we don't get the title after fucking this. And now you guys have the fucking nerve to try to sue the NCAA because you lost the fucking title for cheating? Fuck you all. Fuck.
That's a great point. I had forgotten for a second that year with the title vacation being vacated in question was the year they played Michigan. Yeah, in the championship game. Yeah, where's your Michigan Wolverines national championship? That's a great point about Peyton Manning. I'm glad you brought up Peyton Manning because how the fuck does he not know what John Schnatter, what's his name, John Schnatter, Papa John's, what he's all about? I mean, this is a bad look for Peyton Manning now that all of a sudden you're associated with this fucking scumbag. Here's the new Papa John's commercial right now. You got to
teabagger, fuck. Yeah. It's just the list continues.
Yeah, you got it. Here's the new commercial. You know, we all know what Papa John. I've seen these millions of commercials with him on NFL Sundays, college football games, you name it. He's better pizza, better value, Papa John's. No, the new slogan is this: shittier pizza, bigger asshole, bigger dickhead, Papa John. Right there. There's your new ad right there. Yeah. That's what it should be.
All right. So
seriously, there's again, we're in a society now. We talked about this last week, Gabe. We were talking about the Eskimos and the Redskins and how people were bent out of shape with that. It's the year 2018, folks. Wake up.
So how about this?
The era of inclusion where people are accepted for their beliefs and their skin color and their religion and etc. That's the way it is now. Take it or leave it.
All right. So how about this? The Papa John, of course. Papa John blamed the decline of his pizza sales on the fact that NFL players were protesting. Yet they actually did a survey internally, and it turned out their pizza sales were down because the public had a negative impression of him. So that's why they fucking told him, we got to get you out of the commercials and shit. So they left him on the box still. So it's just funny that he blames the NFL for his declining pizza sales. But then somehow he tries to stick it to the NFL by not renewing as the sponsor of the NFL. So it's like the NFL wins again. It's like the NFL doesn't have to worry about this at all.
Yeah.
Like, right, if this is the NFL right now, this is Roger Goodell's problem. They'd be like, hey, your official pizza sponsor's a fucking big racist. What are you going to do about it? It's a big problem. Now he's laughing, fuck. And now Pizza Hut are laughing because fucking Papa John's just fucking lost like fucking 27% of the fucking market share in the United States. No African American's gonna fucking order a fucking pizza from Papa John's ever again. So now Pizza Hut's laughing. We're the new sponsor of the NFL. Papa John's stock is fucking crashing. Like, this is a big day for fucking Domino's and Pizza Hut. It's hilarious how somehow the NFL always wins, Pavano. And I don't even like the NFL and the bureaucracy of them, but it's just funny that somehow Papa John's thinks that, we're going to stick it to the NFL by pulling our sponsorship. Dude, they signed with fucking Pizza Hut 2 hours later. They got more money from Pizza Hut than they were getting from you. And now they don't have to deal with your fucking racist ass. It's gold. The NFL win again.
NFL walks ass backwards into something that makes them look good. That's the only way that Roger Goodell's capable of doing something right these days. If he gets something basically gift wrapped and put on a silver platter for him, that he could just hit him right in the face. He doesn't even have to lift a finger to scratch his head to make this work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Imagine, like, man, you're a Papa John's delivery guy today. You gotta be fucking praying. Oh God, fuck, man. I hope this ain't fucking like a big brother, man. I'm delivering his pizza too. You're gonna see Papa John's. You're gonna see Papa John's new fucking Papa John's new business strategy is gonna be fucking South only. Papa John's gonna be like, all right, listen. Business is down big time on the East Coast here. I think we should become like Chick-fil-A. And let's just, why don't we say we hate gay people now too? Fuck, let's just go the distance here. Like Chick-fil-A, they said they hated gay people and their stock went way up.
I know a friend of mine who's sworn off going to any sort of pizza chain, because it made him ghastly sick one time, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, the whole thing hit him, everything.
Where's
every
this story
symptom you
going
could imagine. Well, I'm just saying is he's sworn off pizza chains.
I guess you have one friend that doesn't order pizza because he got sick. That's not an interesting story.
No, but Big Man in the chat, I just noticed he says pizza chains are filth. Not all of them, but I'd be cautious with some of them. Pizza Hut's fine for me. I haven't had an issue with them. I know people are complaining about Little Caesars, but it's big in the States, Little Caesars. The Ilitch family, Mike Ilitch and that crew with Little Caesars, they've made a gold mine of money thanks to the Little Caesars pizza chain. It allows them to own the Tigers and the Red Wings.
Makes a good little pizza.
Yeah.
Well, all chains are chains food, but chain franchises are actually cleaner than mom and pop places are.
Well, my favorite pizzas are Chicago style and the wood oven pizza. Wood oven pizza places are really my favorite types of pizza.
Yeah, wood oven pizza is good. I don't have a problem with that. I don't like Chicago style pizza. Too much crap on top. It's too. It's like a fucking.
Very rich too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not down. I think Chicago pizza is overrated. Sorry, Chicago. I'm not a fan of the Chicago deep dish.
Yeah, we don't have to let Alex B. Smith know about that comment. No.
Yeah, there's too much sauce and shit on top. It's like a fucking lasagna on top of pizza, on a slice of pizza or something. Everyone thinks the pizza's best everywhere where they fucking are. Pizza's the same everywhere, right? Pizza's pizza.
Yeah, Valentino's pizza in Hamilton, very good. Very good. Valentino's, yeah.
Except fucking in Las Vegas and in LA and shit. Pizza's pretty shit out there. It's the water, fuck. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm not a very good cook. So, but there's something about the water and the dough. Like, I'm dead serious with that. Like, pizza is no good in Vegas.
Yeah.
You cannot get a good pizza in Vegas. If you get a good pizza in Vegas, you probably can, but it's probably, like you said, in a wood oven at the Bellagio or something, and it's $28, like a design, you know what I mean? One of those sort of artisan pizzas. Like, all the chain pizzas are terrible in Vegas. The mom and pop places are terrible. There's something about the dough and the fucking, I don't know what it is, man. They can't, it's like soggy or something. It's fucking weird, man. Food in Las Vegas as a whole is very bad. Like, it just is, fuck. Like, the water, the irrigation, like, it's just, you know, like, yeah, the hotels and shit have good shit, but as a whole, generally, the food's pretty bad.
It's funny. And then I've talked about another friend of mine who's the polar opposite. He'll eat any pizza. He'll eat Chef Boyardee pizza in a can if they still made that. That he'll just loves pizza so much, anything goes, and he'll enjoy every type of pizza you could imagine. So,
well, whatever. Some people actually
different.
live and fucking go to different places and shit, right? The people live, I only eat this. It's like, yeah, because you never leave your town. So, yeah, that's why you only eat this. Like you said, it's like, we'll get to the CFL, but it's funny because Anthony Bourdain was asked about that, right? So Anthony Bourdain would just drink whatever fucking beer they gave him. Like, he didn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he wasn't a snob and shit about beer. So every fucking country he'd go to, every show, he's always drinking beer in the show. So every fucking country, he'd always get a shitload of tweets and fucking letters. Oh, how could you drink that commercial shit beer that when you were in that country? That's not even whatever. And he just write back to them, fuck off, fuck. I'm not there for a fucking craft brew tour. I'm there to get drunk, all right? And, you know, he was right, fuck. He's basically stating, you know, screw off, fuck. You know, like, everyone, oh, this sucks, that sucks. Listen, change generally do suck as a whole. But people always think the fucking food's better in the fucking town that they're in, and it's not, all right? It's not. It's all the fucking same people. I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to pull some wool over people's eyes and say Hamilton's the best food city in the world. I'm obviously not going to do that. I will say this about beer, though. Great point about, you talk about Bourdain with his sticks, his things with beer. Mine is, I've for years just nothing but Labatt Blue and Buds and just the regular beer store beers. Now for the last 4 or 5 years or so, I've been drinking craft beer more, just like kind of like this one here, the Grain and Grit, really good beer, different textures, different ingredients used. And now when I go back, Gabe, to drinking your Labatt Blue and your Bud and your Coors Light and all that, it tastes like it's watered down, really watery in comparison. It's hard for me to just keep drinking that when I've been exposed now to all these craft beers that are there's a little more for your taste buds with those, and there's always something new coming out for the summertime. They got these sour beers now that have a little bit of a hint of fruit type
I'm not
of
a big hipster,
background to it.
Yeah, with all the flavors and shit about it. But one thing is, you're right, is a beer like Budweiser and Labatt Blue and Molson Canadian and all that shit, there's fucking a lot of preservatives or like just a lot of shit in there, man. And, like you drink a Budweiser, you have a weird aftertaste. You know what I mean? You drink a Sleeman, your aftertaste is beer. Like drink a Molson Dry, man. I used to drink Molson Dry, man. Drink like 20 Molson Dries, man. You're sick for 3 days after, and some weird shit they put it in. You drink some of this fucking pure shit, the craft brewer shit. I don't like getting too hipster with the fruit stuff, but it is much, much cleaner, without a doubt.
Yeah, it is. I'll drink Labatt. I drink Labatt Blue actually through the week usually, and I'll still go back to the old beers, and I'll save the craft beer for, special occasions. But yeah, just in general, it's harder for me to enjoy Labatt Blue now after having some of the craft beers than I did say 5-6 years ago, just because your taste buds change as you get older and you get into it more. But yeah, I mean, it's that's another thing. Craft beer, they got something new for that.
Pavano's a soup. He's a soup fucking festival going hipster, and he's also we're finding out now he's a craft brew hipster.
Craft brew man, yeah. But I'll drink regular beer. You saw that at the party in Toronto for the Argos game. I was drinking a regular beer too. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not a big beer guy. I used to just drink beer to get drunk.
I used to be a huge whiskey guy, and now I'm in my 30s now, low 30s, going on mid 30s, and the whiskey just is hard. It's hard to get more than one shot down on a given
I'm
night.
not a big whiskey
2-3 shots, and I'm KO'd, fucking done.
now. Like now for me
Place my
though,
neck
like last couple of years, I'm more open. You know what I mean? So like, you know, when I was in Costa Rica and shit, I sat at a bar and I basically ordered a beer, and they were like, "What kind?" And I said, "Whatever fucking you guys drink." Fuck, you know what I mean? Like, sort of like Bourdain. I wasn't like, "Oh, it's got to be this or that." I was like, "Whatever." You know, I told you whatever's on special, fuck, you know, type shit. Like whatever the local, you know. So I'm getting more open to it at least, and less snobby, because I used to be more closed-minded about this shit. Oh, I'm not trying that. I'm not drinking that. I'm not eating that. But like Bourdain said, you got to try everything once, fuck.
You do, exactly. And same with food.
Except suicide.
Yeah.
That's the thing that he, you know what I mean? Like Bourdain meant it too literally and figuratively here about trying everything at least once. Fuck.
It's kind of why I went to the place I went to for lunch today. It's a restaurant, Cause and Effect in Hamilton, that opened up. It's got weird menu things, like weird shit that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else, but I wanted to give it a try, see what it was like. It was all right. You know, it's really unique menu items, but, you know, weird combinations you wouldn't think would be tasty together. But it wasn't too bad, actually. I wouldn't have done stuff like that 10, 15 years ago. I would have been just the old standard food.
I got a Bourdain. I'm looking for his booze quote here, but he's talking about how he ordered a fucking hamburger from Johnny Rockets. He's like, because I had a burger at a Johnny Rockets at an airport, and it just didn't ruin my day. It ruined my week. I thought, what kind of world do we live in? There's 4 guys standing there. It's an empty restaurant, and I reach into like a shelf and pull out this pre-cooked burger. They didn't even bother to redunk the fries in the grease. It was sort of utter contempt. Nobody cares.
I like that line.
Where the hell was his booze line? It was funny. He talked about walking into a bar in San Francisco. He's like, people always bitch to me. Where was it? Oh, here it is. All right, boom, here it is. All right. He goes, the angriest critiques I get are from people that watch my shows, and I'm drinking whatever convenient cold beer is available, whatever location I'm at. And I'm not drinking the, quote, best beer there is. You know, I haven't made the effort to walk down the street 10 blocks to the microbrewery where they're making some fucking Mumford Sons beer. People get all bent about it. Look, I like cold beer. I like to have a good time. I don't like to talk about beer. And honestly, I don't talk about wine. I like to drink. If you bring me a really good one, a good craft beer, I will enjoy it and say so. But I'm not going to sit there and fucking analyze it. I was in San Francisco. I was desperate for a beer. I walked into this place. I thought it was an old-looking bar. When I sat down, I looked up. I noticed there was a wide selection of beers I never heard of, which was fine. Okay. I was in some sort of brew pub. What's good? I look around. The entire place was filled with people sitting there with 5 small glasses in front of them, filled, drinking different beers, taking notes. This isn't a bar. This is the fucking invasion of the body snatchers. This is wrong. This is not what a bar is. A bar is to get a little bit buzzed and pleasantly derange the senses, have a good time, interact with other people, or make bad decisions and feel bad about your life. It's not there to sit there and fucking analyze beer. There it is.
I love that take, because as much as
that's my take on pizza as well. When people bitch, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, fuck. You know what I mean?
Like I said, as much as I've grown to love craft beer right now, you will not see me in a million years walking into a craft beer store or any beer or bar that sells craft beer, me with a little notepad. I'm going to do my little Fraser and Niles Crane. Could you give me a little snifter of that beer, please? Just a little drop so I can sample a taste or something like that, some shit like that. No, give me the whole fucking can. Give me the whole bottle. Give me one big pint of it. I'm going to drink the whole damn thing. So no Fraser and Niles Crane behavior out of me when it comes to drinking beer. Remember what those guys did? If anyone watched Frasier back in the day, that's what those two did. They did their little wine tours and all that stuff. Sample a little wine there, a little snifter there.
I had an ex-girlfriend that was into the wine tasting, actually. Sit around, write down little notes there.
No, that ain't happening. I'm interested to know what they use, but I'm not writing notes down and documenting it and all that shit. No. I'm there to enjoy the beer. Yeah. That's what it's all about in the end. Shouldn't that be the most important thing?
That's it. Enjoying the moment, right? It's sort of like, that's the thing, man. Like whether it's the taste It's sort of like, I don't know, the episode of The Simpsons. I don't know if you know Pavano, but there's an episode of The Simpsons when Homer and Burns get stuck in a cottage together and in a cabin. And basically Burns said, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or whether you're poor, everybody enjoys to sit down. Like they both sat down. They were like, oh. And Burns said to him, it doesn't matter whether you're fucking a millionaire or you're a poor dude. Fuck. Everyone enjoys sitting down. And then they both sort of sat down and shit. And it's the same thing, everything's all relative. It's like gambling. There's fucking people in fucking some town right now in Africa drinking some fucking beer that you think tastes fucking gross that they're loving. And there's people drinking a Budweiser right now on their porch, fuck with their wife, enjoying life. And you hate Budweiser. It's the way it goes.
Yeah. I mean, and it kind of relates to, I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I'm not stupid. I realize that in Italy, if I walk into my local coffee shop in Rome, Italy, or Madrid, Spain, or Lisbon, Portugal, and I say, let's talk a little Houston Texans football. Let's break down the quarterback position. Nobody's going to care over there. Nobody. Not in a million years. And soccer's an international global phenomenon. So it's, different people have different likes and dislikes. It's the way it is.
Yeah, you're out of the loop when it comes to soccer.
Yeah.
What's your analysis for France and Croatia?
Yeah, now that I brought it up, I'm gonna have to analyze it. I'll say this about Croatia: they're a very, very resilient bunch. Because if you think about it, and I've watched a lot of the matches in this tournament. They went to penalty kicks against Denmark. They went to penalty kicks against Russia. They had to go to extra time today against England, and they survived. They found a way each time, and they had to rally from 1-0 down today to win the match. So
yeah, they have a fighting spirit without a doubt.
They do. They're very tough. They're tough mentally, obviously tough physically because you played a lot of soccer. 120 minutes now in 3 straight matches. It's pretty impressive. Give them credit. Problem is the gas tank on E coming up Sunday against France, and France looks like they're peaking at the right time. So that's your concern if you're Croatia going into that one.
It's a good point too that the fatigue's got to catch up at some point. All these extra times, and that show Moonshine's fucking fixed. Fuck, it's all bullshit. Best line is, yeah. He goes, yeah, you have it all. Yeah, I would trade it all for a little more. All right, Pavano, let's jump in here. CFL, Ken, 4-0, Ken says. That won't be 4-0. It's only 4-0 in virtual. I will say this about the wine. We'll wrap it up, the booze talk here. But I will say this, that out of all the NASCAR races, that's the one I want to go to. I want to go to the one up there in Napa Valley, in the Bay Area, Sonoma, California. And it's fucking crazy. It's in wine tasting country. Like you're out there in the vineyards and shit, and it's the only NASCAR race where you get drunk on wine. Like you can pound back like fucking great wine for dirt cheap at the NASCAR race and get all fucked up. You go on a wine tour and shit earlier in the day, you get wasted, and they bring you to the track. So, yeah, man, I got to fucking go there. Oh, Brooks lived there, Sonoma. Brooks. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's on my bucket list. Whenever I see it on TV, for years, bro, I've always been, I want to go there. Like, that's the race. And plus, it's cool because you can sit on the hills and shit close to the action. And it's the only NASCAR race where the drivers go up and down hills. It's the funnest NASCAR race because it's like they're driving for real. They got to go right. They got to go left. They got to go up a hill. They got to go down hills. It's like, and they got to slow down. So it's funny. Like, you see a NASCAR guy, he's got to slow down around the corner because he won't make it and shit. It's fucking funny.
I did say to myself last year, I'm going to California by the time I hit 40 because I've never been. That's definitely going to happen. I don't know when yet, but I'm going to make it happen. California trip. I know our boy Chris Edge is out there in San Diego. Yeah, talk about a class act, Chris Edge. He's great. Meeting him a couple of times now. He's asked me before, Chris Edge, come on out to California. Gabe, come on out to California. That will happen at some point, Chris Edge. Trust me. We'll be out there in the great state of California.
I imagine I'll be in California. I'll get to California before the year. I'm actually sort of looking at going to a Rabs game or two, whatever. Like, we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I gotta, I'll be somewhere. I'm either going to be whatever, here, there, or I mean, East Coast, West Coast. But I'm a fan of Los Angeles. And now that Chris Hedge in San Diego, would be cool to check him out there too.
Yep.
Too bad the Chargers aren't there, but we got SDSU out there. But especially now, dude, like weed's legal in California. They got the fucking Rams. You got all kinds of sports and shit there. There's always something. Like whenever, it's fucking close, but man, like, yeah, it's tough with IPC, but like if there was something going on, even like in Vegas, it's worth it. It's only like 3.5 hours, Like you're in Vegas. Like people in Vegas go to Dodger games all the time. Like they got buses that go to Dodger games all the time and shit. You get all wasted on the bus. They bring you back. Like it's not that far, Las Vegas and LA. LA is a great city though. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean it's the equivalent of what Toronto to North Bay distance-wise to drive. Yeah, it's you can easily do it. Yeah, 3.5 hours, no problem.
North Bay, fuck. North Bay's in the middle of nowhere.
That's in just a little north of Barrie. Yep.
Oh, North Barrie, you said?
Yeah, North Bay. Yeah.
North Bay.
No, I think Toronto to Barrie's less than 3 hours. It's like 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not even. It's like depending on the traffic.
Yeah.
You drive through Death Valley out there.
Yeah. That 400 can be a bitch sometimes. Oh man, talk about a desolate highway. Yeah.
And I'm talking about Death Valley for real. That's what it is called.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's the desert in between California and Nevada.
Yeah.
And it's called Death Valley. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a adventurous trip.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's whatever. It's the name and shit that freaks you out more than anything. But I have been to a fucking pretty crazy redneck fucking diner out there, man. It's pretty deliverance and scared the shit out of me and my buddy when we were younger. We're like, we got to get out of here. Fuck. People go down in Death Valley. Like Pavano's like, yeah, Death Valley, the 401. I'm like, no, fuck. The real Death Valley.
The real Death Valley, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about fucking like the football place, fuck.
Well, no, Clemson, no.
Yeah, the fake Death Valley.
South Carolina.
Fucking, yeah.
The actual highway Death Valley, yep.
Then you got Happy Valley.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Fuck.
I hate Happy Valley. What's happy about that place?
Although, you know what I mean? You're probably better off in Happy Valley than Death Valley, aren't you? Yeah. I mean, if it's happy, but turned out it was pretty fucking gropey valley fuck up there. So how depending on who you were, fuck.
Yeah. No, I sometimes do look high as a kite without having anything in my system. And actually, I don't have anything in my system other than a few beers. That's it.
Bano's all hopped up on designer beer.
Yep. Yeah, never a cigarette, never a weed or marijuana, never anything like no drugs or anything like that. No cocaine. We've stayed away from all that stuff. It's just been beer and liquor that's been my. Sometimes that's gotten the best of me, but not often lately. We control it.
It's been a vice of yours.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can KO me and make me come unglued is maybe a lot of alcohol and liquor. It's not going to be any smoking. It's certainly not going to be drugs. Christ, I haven't even come close to taking that shit.
All right. We learn more and more and more about Bano every week, don't we, gentlemen?
Yep.
All right. So CFL football. Papa John's founder steps down. Whatever steps down. From what? Like, the guy's got to fuck off for real. Get off the pizza box. Go away. All right. So CFL football tomorrow night. And it is the rivalry renewed. And you know what? It was 3 points. I liked it at 3. Fuck 2. It's up to 3.5. I actually think so. Calgary's laying 3.5 right now, 170 on the money line. Total's 55. They just played about 2-3 weeks ago again. So what's your take on this one tomorrow?
Yeah, rematch. It's rematch week in the CFL. All 3 games are, two teams playing each other that played against one another earlier this season. Calgary, Ottawa played a couple weeks ago. In Calgary, 24-14 was the final. Stamps won, but Ottawa offensively was terrible in that game because that's probably a game they should have covered the number. Their defense kept them in it for as long as they could have, and then unfortunately, Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps offense, they're good enough that eventually they're going to get going if you keep giving them chances. And Ottawa had a chance, got stopped at the goal line, and that changed that game. See, Calgary's rolling right now. They're playing really good. They're 3-0 straight up and against the spread, but they're coming off a bye. They've been phenomenal off the bye. I can't even remember the last time straight up that Calgary lost off a bye week, but they're rolling going into this bye week. And sometimes those bye weeks for teams that are playing good going into them, I worry that it disrupts rhythm, chemistry, confidence. Things just aren't quite the same. Now you're going on the road here, playing Ottawa for a second time. Ottawa trying to avenge that first loss. Last two meetings in the regular season as well, Calgary and Ottawa, tie games, both of them. They ended in ties. So, I don't trust Calgary to win this game by margin. This line's creeped up a bit, kind of like Ottawa plus the points. This is not my favorite CFL card this week by any stretch, but I kind of like Ottawa here. And I think the over is going to be worth a look here because I think Ottawa does want to play at a little bit more of a faster pace. They said they moved too slow first meeting against Calgary. This total is lower than that first meeting. It was 57. It's 53.5, 54 here. So I like the over and I like Ottawa.
Yeah, well, we talked about this game before. They were automatic overs before. They played 5 straight games to the overs. 4 of their 7 games went to overtime, 2 ties, etc. And, of course, 24-14 last time they played. Yeah, I don't really know if the score is a true indication. Ottawa actually moved the ball, they moved the ball into the red zone consistently. They couldn't punch it in from the one that time. They got stopped. It was a strange football game. But they usually play high-scoring games, Pavano. So I get the feeling that, listen, the CFL has been pretty under-themed this year so far, but I do get the feeling there should be some points put up on the board. I'm leaning Calgary, but getting up to 3.5 is it's a little sketchier right now.
It is because Ottawa's had an ability to play well against them, especially in Ottawa. So I kind of like the situation here for Ottawa. They're the team that lost that first meeting. Calgary could come in and win this game and cover. They easily could. Maybe I'm underselling them again because I've been adamant since the beginning of the season. Calgary may be a little bit decline, not a huge decline, but a little bit. But that hasn't shown up yet. If you bet Calgary every game, you've cashed every time so far. So we're waiting for that to show up. So it's a tricky game, but I'll have some kind of bet here on Ottawa, and I like the over as well because the weather's supposed to be pretty good. By the way, I just want to mention this, not to toot anybody's horn or anything, but we're one play away from a 4-0 roundtable show sweep on the roundtable show earlier today. We've got Donnie Right-Side's LA Angels Seattle under pending here. And if that one comes in and wins, we're 4-0 with the roundtable best bets today. So good job by me and the crew today, including Big Man, who's in the chat with his Carabag soccer pick. I noticed that one won. His summer league picks are doing good. So Big Man's doing a great job right now.
Not the power you say that part, but hey, so you guys won 1 game each. Can you spend 2 minutes talking about it?
Yeah, I got to. We haven't had a 4-0 sweep with the roundtable for a while.
You guys won a game each. Hey, thanks for interrupting, man. Pat yourself on the back.
There we go. The Barry Horowitz. Yeah.
All right. So Toronto Argonauts 8.5. Wow, up to 8.5 points against Edmonton. Another rematch, 2017 last week. Another interesting game in which, for the most part, the Edmonton Eskimos looked like the better team. But they shot themselves in the foot. It was a sloppy game, man. They turned the ball over. They scored a touchdown. It was overturned with penalties. Very sloppy in the red zone, continuously settling for field goals. They finally score a touchdown, and then boom, Toronto goes right down the field. Toronto was a desperate football team last week, and they played like it. They were crisp coming out of that bye week. Trestman really, really was into it. And so now you get a rematch here. I get why Edmonton's favored, but 8.5 feels pretty high. I don't really understand the line in this one. It's gone up. It was 7 earlier in the week.
I took -7 early in the week. I don't know if I like it now, 9.5, unless you play a teaser. You could always do that Edmonton tease with the over, perhaps, because I do think if you had the over in the Edmonton-Toronto game, and I love that over, it was as frustrating as you could imagine because Edmonton's racked up almost 400 total yards in the football game, and yet all I see when they get inside the 30-yard line drive after drive after drive in that game was a missed field goal, 10-yard holding penalty, interception by Mike Riley in the end zone near the end of the half, a fumble when they were driving on one.
I was right there. I was at the game. I was sitting in the end. I was sitting right near there. I saw both fucking dude. It was pain. It was torture. Fuck. I was there. Brutal. I had money on Edmonton too, and Edmonton's marching the ball. I'm like, oh, I got this game. Fuck, I got this game. And it was right in front of me. I had a good seat too this time, better than our seats. I was close. I was right there. Edmonton scored, and I was just like, you fuckstick. You're offside. Like, I could see from the seat. And I was like, you fucking idiot. And I brought this up to Cam the other day. Riley had to tell these guys, like, all game, fuck, get onside, get onside. The Edmonton fucking wide receivers were fucking, it's like they're in their own world, these fucking guys. And, yeah, there was a fucking holding penalty on the rushing touchdown. And then when fucking Riley was lobbing balls all day, he wasn't crisp. He fucking lobbed one into the end zone, and it would have been a touchdown with Bano, but the guy in Edmonton fell. He slipped. Like, that's all that happened. Like, it wasn't like what happened on the play. Buddy on Edmonton fucking total, like, right out of a sitcom. Like, he fucking fell on his ass, man, and the ball went right to Buddy on the Argos.
Yeah.
Another CFL screw job. Unbelievable.
Like, it was like there was a brick wall along the goal line every time Edmonton was trying to get in for a touchdown. Just couldn't get in. That again, almost 400 total yards. That is supposed to equate and add up to more than 17 points. It is. You get over almost 400 total yards of offense in a football game. That's supposed to result in more than 17 points. Unfortunately, because of blunders and missed field goals and fumbles and interceptions and penalties, it didn't. So really, that game, which is going to look 20-17 on paper, like an ugly, low-scoring grinder, should have been a different result. Much different result.
All right. So you're laying the 7, you say here.
I laid the 7 early in the 9.5's tough. I mean, that's getting up there now. I mean, we still have a leaky Eskimo. Yeah, 8.5. It's a leaky Eskimo defense, Gabe. It's not a great Eskimos defense right now. It's James Franklin's first road game here. That's a concern, but I was impressed with Franklin. He did enough, managed the offense. They got Wilder Jr. having a huge game at running the football, which was big for the Argos, took a lot of pressure off the shoulders of Franklin. Trestman had him ready, though. I mean, he didn't make mistakes, Franklin, and that's why I like Toronto last week in that spot. I don't like him here as much, but I think it's too many points now to lay with. I liked 7, but it's 9.5 now. It just keeps on climbing.
8.5, Pavano. 8.5. You keep saying it's 9.5. It's 8.5.
I see 9.5. Oh, I see 9.5 at Chris and a couple others. It's 8.5 at the Greek. Okay, and probably 365 as at 8.5. So yeah, that's a better number. I like the over though too. We didn't get the over last week. I think it's got a good chance this time around. Edmonton's gone to the over every home game so far. The game against Hamilton went over. BC went over. So 2-0 to the over at home for the Eskimos. So I think they can get this one over the top. Their offense is going to finish drives. It's been an emphasis. I heard Mike Riley in a press conference yesterday, Gabe, talking about it. We got to finish drives. We got to finish them with touchdowns and stop stubbing our toe and making mistakes that are costing us in the red zone. So he's made a point of emphasizing that going into this game, and I think you'll see a cleaner Edmonton offense this time around.
They really haven't played all that well this year, though, haven't they, Pavano? Really, like each game, I just said it too. I was watching Riley, and he was a little off. He missed a few guys. He wasn't as accurate. And earlier in the year, same thing. It's sort of, they're just not in sync, Edmonton, fully. I guess that one best game that they played was against BC, and they did cover the spread in a similar situation as this. But even in that game, if you remember, they really pulled away in the fourth quarter. I mean, it wasn't close at the half, and they were kind of sloppy at the half. Edmonton really haven't put together 4 full quarters of football in any game yet this year.
And even the one real impressive performance against BC, is that really all that impressive after the shit show we saw to the BC Lions last week? I mean, that's not really.
Well, exactly. That Lions secondary, you can really throw the ball on those guys. So.
Anybody can move the ball against that pass defense. I mean, that is a dreadful secondary right now for BC. And I'm not surprised. They were young and inexperienced going into the season in that secondary. You could talk all they want about Odell Willis, adding him, Solomon Elamimian being one of the best linebackers in the CFL, and he is. But if you don't have a good secondary and pass defense that can cover one-on-one in the CFL down the field on that wide, big field, you're in some trouble, and BC's proof of that right now.
All right.
Speaking of BC, that's our last game.
Yeah, so only 3 games this week.
Yeah, 3 teams on buys: Hamilton, Saskatchewan, and Montreal. So it's a 3-game schedule this week.
We're
I don't know.
fucking
I don't
idiots,
understand it. Yeah.
We're fucking idiots. Like, I don't even know what to say.
By the way, you talked about Edmonton not being consistent. Who in the CFL has been consistent so far outside of Calgary? Hamilton's a win one, lose one team. Edmonton's a win one, lose one team. Winnipeg's a win one, lose one team. Ottawa's a win one, lose one
That's
team.
the league, bro.
Toronto, yeah.
That's the league. It's always been like this, it feels, except with Calgary every damn year.
I know.
Like you said, I don't see a number here, Pavano, for Winnipeg, BC. Do you see one, or what's up? What's the why isn't there a number?
There's no number, and it's because BC has no fucking clue what they're doing at quarterback. None, zero. And Wally Buono came out and said it today. They don't know what they're going to do.
They don't want to start Jennings.
They're seriously thinking about not starting Jennings. But
Travis Lule.
The problem is, who are the options? The options are Cody Fajardo, who, Nevada, he was a good quarterback. He didn't do much for me when he was with the Argos as a starter in a few games last year. He didn't impress me. And Travis Lule is an option, but they're waiting on him to get medically cleared. And even if you do put him in, he's one damn hit away from his career being over and maybe his physical well-being in the future being threatened for good with one more hit and one more injury. This guy's had a laundry list of serious fucking injuries, the last 5-6 years. You're going to throw him out there? Where do you go with BC right now at quarterback? That's their conundrum. That's why there's no line right now. They don't know.
Oh, wow. Travis Lule, I swear to God, Pavano, when I saw Travis Lule in week 1 on the sidelines in street clothes or on whatever, in the BC Lion golf shirt, I thought he was an assistant coach. No, I'm dead serious. I just sort of assumed. I was like, oh, I guess he's just, it made sense. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. He's, new. He's on the staff now, right? Makes sense. I didn't realize until a couple of weeks ago that he's actually still one of the backup quarterbacks. Like, come on, bro. This guy's done, man. For his own safety. Why would they even consider throwing him out there? And Jennings is better than Fajardo. It's not fucking Jennings' fault the fucking defense sucks. I know Jennings makes mistakes, but I don't know, man. Wally Buono sort of lost it over the last couple of years, hasn't he, Pavano, with his player personnel decisions. He knows the league and everything, but it reminds me just sort of an old dude that sort of time's passed him by a bit,
That's I was hoping this would be a good year for BC because it's his final year. Let's rally around the coach that's outgoing. He's been in the league for decades, but I've been the biggest proponent of sticking up for Jennings. You know that. I've always tried to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I think I've even had enough at this point. There were a couple balls last week. I know the defense stunk. You can't hang that at the feet of Jonathan Jennings and blame him for that because that secondary is just in tatters right now for BC. Yeah. But his decision making, he's got to fucking figure out in any quarterback in professional football. Go through your progressions, man. Second read, third read, fourth read. You don't have to lock in on the first receiver you see down the field when you do your step back drop and throw to him, even if there's 2 guys around him. And that's what got him into trouble last week with the Adam Big Hill interceptions. His old teammate burned him twice.
Like you said, he's never gotten better with this reading the defense.
No.
He can make a couple athletic plays for you. You know what he reminds me of? I swear to God, he reminds me of Deshaun Kaiser. He's the same, it's the same type of thing where it's dude, you have the physical skills, except he's older. I'm not, I blame Jennings more for this. They've given him a chance. This is 3 years now where exactly it's the same things. He makes the same mistakes over. He always throws the ball off of his back foot when he gets into trouble. He takes off to her. He just doesn't get it. He just doesn't. And I get why they're frustrated, but really, it's not really his fault at the same point in time. He's just sort of a symbol of an average football team. He's not terrible, but he's not great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's more than just not great right now. He was downright terrible. I'll come right out and say it. He was awful last week. That's about as bad as I've ever seen him play. And he's had some games where he's been mediocre and not so good. I don't know if I've seen anything as bad as last week. There were missed wide open receivers down the field, those forced balls that resulted in interceptions. So there's a reason why BC is seriously thinking long and hard and evaluating their quarterback situation going into this game. Because I think they're almost at their breaking point, Gabe, with Jennings at this point.
Yeah, but maybe it's not Jennings. Maybe it's them. like I said, I mean, the game's passed Wally Buono by. It just has. Fuck. It's just a fact. It's been this way for years. He keeps hanging on. He was supposed to leave before. And the only thing is he was just shitty at fucking hiring coaches. So he fucking came back. And, you know, it's
a conundrum with Buono.
His career or anything.
No.
But like I said, it's time for him to go. It's like, honestly, for the betterment of the BC Lions, he's running him into the ground, essentially. Like, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he's in charge of the team, man. He's the president. He's the general manager. He's the fucking coach, all right? He makes every fucking decision there. And as we see, Pavano, the decisions aren't so good. Like, the team's no good. You know, like, it's not Jennings' fault. Like, you know, he's one of fucking 50 guys.
You know what's amazing about Buono, and the reason why I've been hesitant to say he is the main problem with this BC team is because prior to last season, where BC was 7-11 last year in 2017, prior to last season, how many years did Wally Buono miss the playoffs as a CFL head coach? None. Zero. Exactly. That is how consistent this guy has been as a head. That's why he's a legend.
I mean, how about even with the Lions with Chapeldane and those guys? Didn't they make the playoffs all the time and just lose in the first week still?
Every single year, but every single year they were at least,
they made the playoffs like 23 years in a row or something, the Lions.
Yep. Every year as a head coach. Calgary, when he was there from 90 to 2002, and then every year with BC up until last year, they were a playoff team. So what, has he just all of a sudden lost his mind and lost his ability to coach, to scout, to evaluate personnel in a year and a year and a bit? Maybe. That's Jazz does. It's a good point. Maybe Wally Buono, it's over for him. Like, there's just, maybe the will isn't there. Maybe at 68 years old too, we're not seeing Wally Buono as geared up in and locked into performing at his highest level as a coach, as a GM at this point. Like, I've had a long career. I'm ready to ride off into the sunset. Maybe I'm not really putting in the time, or just not doing as good a job because of that. Who knows?
You know what he is? He's like a fighter, dude, that he's like a fighter
sticking around longer than he should.
And he wants to end with
bad losses. Yeah, and he wants to end with a big win after a few bad losses. Yeah.
And I'm not saying
Rashad Evans. That's Rashad Evans to a T.
Exactly. Like, Buono isn't thinking, "Oh, I'm going to win a Grey Cup," but I think Buono just wants to have a nice year, win a playoff game. You know what I mean? As opposed to, fuck, we're 6-12, you're 7-11, and it's always, so what's next? Who are you hiring? And then he's a proud man. I get it. And the fact is, it's just tough. I mean, there's some good teams in his division, but I mean, really, you got Ottawa and Hamilton are playoff worthy, and then you got a crossover. So he's got a puncher's chance for the playoffs, doesn't he? I mean, you can't say that he can't make the playoffs. He could.
They're only 1-2. I mean, we act like the problem is the one win was 22-10 against Montreal at home, and you basically needed to scrape by in the fourth quarter just to win and cover that football game. So, that's your concern. It's 1-2. That's not a terrible record, but the one win is not something you can be proud of and pump your chest over. Oh, look at me, 22-10. We beat Montreal. Yeah. I mean, does that get anybody fired up? Doesn't do that to me.
A win's a win.
Yeah.
A win's a win. Speaking of which, we're looking for a win here on the way out with the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're up 3-1 right now. They put a 3-spot up in the third inning. San Diego do have a runner on first. It's 19-2 for Colorado. I'm on Colorado too, but there's no drama here or whatever. We already got paid for it too.
I got to give props to Brett Patterson in the chat. He corrected me, and he's right. There was one season Wally missed the playoffs with Calgary, 2002, his last year there. So there was 1 year before last year with BC. So 2 seasons he's missed the playoffs overall.
Good Brett Patterson. Plus, you can't get anything past Brett. Fuck Brett. Brett Patterson should call in the fucking radio show and try to win the World Series tickets, because nobody else seems to have a hope in hell. So Patterson, you might. All right, so let's move on to the Mountain West here, Pavano.
Yeah, Mountain West, interesting conference here. A lot of good offenses, a lot of potentially good quarterbacks as well this season. Brett Rippon, Boise State. I think that McMarion kid at Fresno State, who really came on last year, is going to be good. How about Armani Rogers at UNLV? I think there's a big-time ceiling for him. I think he's going to have a good year. Ty Ganji at Nevada is a really developing good quarterback. So there's some good quarterbacks in this conference this year.
I talked about the Conference USA today with Mark Lawrence, and I tell you, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in that conference, dude. A lot of high scoring teams there too. Middle Tennessee State and fucking.
Oh yeah.
Just a long list. Louisiana Tech. See, I swear to God, every team, it seems like in Conference USA, you're like, damn, man, they got fucking 18 starters back. 18 starters back on offense and stuff. But yeah, you're right. I like the quarterback for UNLV as well. Probably the best recruit. They say he's the best recruit they've gotten since Randall Cunningham was there. And Randall Cunningham was there a long time ago. But no, that kid can fucking run, man. He's a decent quarterback. All right, so let's jump in here. I got some win totals here for the conference. So all right, let's start off. We'll go alphabetical. We'll start off with Air Force. Air Force Falcons. Air Force last year were a 5-7 team. Pavano. What do you make of them this year?
Yeah, Air Force is, they're obviously, with the triple option, you always got to worry about teams having to prepare for them. We'll see what they do here. We'll see if they're ready to take that next step because, we're with them. At Worthman going to be back as their quarterback, Arian Worthman. He looks like last season as the season progressed, he got better. I think he'll be a little bit better running that attack. They've got a good running back. Tim McVeigh's back. The receivers I know are going to be pretty good. The offensive line is going to be pretty good, I think, as well. Fourth last year rushing the football. Obviously, that's predominantly what they do. That's going to skew the stats. But, good offensive line. It's defense with this team, Gabe. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, last year it was not good. I mean, their defense last year was terrible against the run. 6 yards per carry allowed last year on defense. That's awful. That's going to have to improve. Those past defenses of those service academy schools, Morency, they struggle. I mean, it's very rare that I see a Navy or an Army, or schools like that, Air Force with a good solid secondary. So, that's another troubling area for Air Force. So I think their offense is going to be much better, though. So first thought is they're going to be an over team. I don't know from an against the spread perspective. Maybe as a dog they'll be good, but look for them to be an over team. Their win total, it could go either way. I don't have a strong opinion over under the win total, though.
I'm looking for some updated win totals right now. Let's see. Here we go. South Point. All right, here, 4.5. 4.5 for Air Force, Pavano.
That's they're going to be right around. I'd lean over a little bit actually. 4.5. I could see them maybe sneaking out 5 games last year. Yeah, I think their offense is going to be better, and their defense is. You just hope it forces turnovers because they're going to give up yards through the air, on the ground. That's you're not going to get usually a lockdown, just tremendous Chicago Bears defense out of a service academy. You're just not. But just get some key stops when you need it. Get over that. I could see them getting over 4. I thought it would be 5.5 or 5, but you can get 4.5. I could see them getting to 5. I don't know about a bowl eligibility, but 5, they could probably do that.
All right, Boise State's win total is 10. Boise State's win total is 10. They open up the season at Troy, so that's no free pass right there. Troy's going to have this game circled, so that's interesting. They open up at Troy. Actually, I give them a little credit for that. Then they host UConn. Obviously, no battle there. They're at Oklahoma State, so you bet the over 10. There's not a lot of room for error here, but if you look at their schedule, they get San Diego State at home. This game's in Boise. They play Fresno State in Boise. They wrap up the season with Utah State in Boise. Tough road games. They don't really have any like at Wyoming, whatever, at Air Force, at New Mexico, at Nevada. But I still wouldn't want to bet the over 10. There's no room for error. When you're playing 12 games, there's no fucking room for error with that.
There's not, and I'm actually kind of interested in the under with this team. There's something's not been right at Boise since Chris Peterson left. Brian Arson's, kept them near the top, at the top, but their performance has dipped a bit. I don't think the recruiting's quite as good either since Harson's been there. And Brett Rippon he came on strong late last year, but he had a little early struggles last season. He's got all the pieces in place to be great. He's now a senior. He's a 4-year starter. 9 starters on defense are back. I mean, that should be a good, strong unit too. I understand that, but again, you're talking about a team that's at 10 wins. It's a team that's going to be priced very, expensively against the spread in the betting markets week to week. I don't think you're going to get point spread bargains this year with Boise State. And you rarely do get point spread bargains with Boise State. Think back to the Mountain West Championship game last year against Fresno. All the point spread value was on Fresno in that game. Boise State didn't even come close to, sniffing a point spread cover in that game. This is an overvalued team. I'd be looking to bet against Boise. They'll be very good, but I don't think they're quite as good as they were in the Peterson area, and I think they're still sometimes priced like it.
Yeah, they've been a horrible road. They've been a horrible home favorite over the years, Pavano, the last couple of years. But I get the feeling that they're a pretty dangerous team this year. I haven't done this preview yet. I haven't really kicked the tires on this conference yet too much, but I'm getting the feeling that they're going to be better this year than they were last year, to be honest.
The defense definitely looks really, really good. I don't know what it is. Brett Rippon shouldn't bother me as much as he did, but he really had a tough time early in the season. He was making some bad throws. Again, had the little Jonathan Jennings problem early in the season, just forcing things at times. They should be really good. I just don't know if they're going to be a profitable team at the end of the season. Will you make money with Boise State against the spread every single week this season? I'm not convinced you will.
They closed. I remember last year, I was picking on them. I was picking on them a lot earlier, and I paid the price as the season went on, even though they didn't deserve to fucking win. That team, Fresno, got screwed that time. But Brett Rippon's frustrated me over the years. It'll be interesting to see, but it feels like that he's fucking been there forever, man. As I stated, yeah, I think they win 10 games. The total's 10. I think they win 10 games. I think it's right there. All right, let's blast through these, Pavano. Just sort of if you like the total or not, if you like a team, because we can't go through the roster and the situation of every team. We're going to be here all night. So Colorado State, their win total is 5.5 this year.
Yeah, this is a team that could struggle. This Colorado State team. There's a lot of new faces coming into this football team. It's going to be a totally revamped group going into the season. There's definitely some concerns going on with Colorado State. There's big holes to fill along the offensive line as well. We're talking about like 3 or 4 of the 5 starters on the offensive line gone from last year. It's going to be a very young group up front. There could be some growing pains there. Will their run blocking and pass protection early in the season in particular be adequate? It's going to be interesting. They bring in this KJ Carter-Samuels, graduate transfer quarterback. It's a guy that, was at Washington once. But right now he's a guy that didn't practice in spring camp because of the way the transfer agreement went. He's not allowed to practice until next month when fall camp starts. So very confusing, odd, and I don't think it's a good situation for trying to break in a new quarterback with a new program and a new offense and an offensive line with a bunch of new faces on it. So yeah, I've got the arrow pointing down on Colorado State. I know we've got them, Gabe, August 25th. That Saturday, we're there for the IFBC in Las Vegas. I know they're playing on that Saturday, I believe, Colorado State. Yeah, they're against Hawaii. I like Hawaii plus the points in that game. I really do. I know Hawaii on the mainland can be sketchy. It can be very, very tricky when they're going on the road.
Hawaii here too.
Yeah, I think it's too many points with Colorado State right now. I think there's some major issues that they're going to have to deal with. A defense that I think is going to be roughed up, a new quarterback, an offense that's got so many question marks, O-line, receivers. All Hawaii has to do is don't screw up. Don't turn the ball over a ton. I think they're going to be better defensively. Rolovich, I think, is slowly getting some pieces in place there with that program. Yeah, I'll get Hawaii plus points in pocket for that game on that August 25th.
You know what I like you mentioned? Listen, obviously, when you're going I'm just seeing Air Force here. Air Force. All right. Well, when you're talking about Hawaii, yeah. So when they go on the mainland, it's they travel. It's a problem for them. But generally, Ben, if you remember a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago. I get fucked up with these years. They all merge together. But I remember a couple of years ago, Hawaii opened up in Australia. And it was against Rice. It was on like a Friday night. They opened up against Rice in Australia, or Cal. Sorry, they played Cal against Jared Goff. That was it. They were like 21-point underdogs or whatever. They ended up losing by 21. And the next week they were in Michigan. And the next week they were fucking wherever. Like they literally flew 40,000 miles before they played their first home game. And it wipes them out. So later in the season, when they go on the road and shit, it catches up to them a bit. But first game of the year, Pavano. First game of the year, there's no fatigue yet, right? They haven't flown a million fucking miles yet. They can get there a little bit earlier. It's like a normal trip. They get beaten down as the season goes on and the air miles rack up for them. So I don't think it's as tough of a spot for them as the general. And generally the public is going to be all over that. Oh, Hawaii never, they can't play on the mainland. Whatever, fuck. Colorado State are less than average football team. Laying those type of points, Hawaii can hang with those guys. I'll be taking Hawaii in that game too.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Australia game to start the year 2 years ago. Let's not forget last year. Hawaii had to make a bastard of a trip in the first game last year against UMass. I don't care, UMass is not anything to write home about, but they had to go all the way out to Amherst, Massachusetts, in the very first week of the season at UMass, and they won that game straight up as an underdog, 38-35.
I was on them.
Yeah, it was close. It was a sweat. We had to grind that one out, but it was a winner at the end of the day. They don't even have to win this game. Just be competitive. Look at this Colorado State set. How could you want to lay 2 touchdowns here in this spot? You need, when you're laying 2 touchdowns with a favorite, you got to have an offense that you have some faith in and confidence to rack up points, rack up yards. What am I seeing with Colorado State? I'm seeing 3 new starters on the O-line. I'm seeing a brand new quarterback playing in an offense that he's not familiar with. I'm seeing your top receiver gone from last year, a Bolitnikov finalist. Dallin Dawkins, 1,400-yard rusher gone from last year. Top tight end from last year. Oh, he's gone too. So you got new faces everywhere, new quarterback and a new offense and new program. Laying 14 first week? No. Hawaii, if they don't screw up, they can get inside that number, I think.
All right. We got to New Mexico Lobos. Lobos were a fucking disaster because of this Bob Davie stuff last year. Their win total projection is 4. Utah State's at 7.5. Wyoming is 6.5. Losing Josh Allen, Wyoming at 6.5. Fresno State, Pavano, they won 10 games last year. Their win total is 8. Right now. We'll get to Hawaii too. Hawaii's win total is 3.5 actually, and maybe this is a year Hawaii can actually win a few football games. So, what are the teams you like here, Pavano? What are some of the play-on teams you're looking at?
I just got the alert now on my computer popping up. Yeah, Papa John Schnattner resigns. Oh, big shocker there, obviously. New Mexico, I want to bring them up right now, the Lobos, because I don't understand really what they're doing, Gabe, here. I always think that the option attack that Bob Davie and New Mexico's had for years there, it's been running at a decent clip. It's taken, opposing teams off guard. They got to prepare for it. It's been reasonably successful. Like New Mexico's been a reasonably successful program under Bob Davie. They've been a lot better than they were before he got there with that option offense. Let's put it that way. Now, all of a sudden, you're doing away with the option and you're going to a completely new offense. You've brought in a completely different scheme because you brought in the former Arizona offensive coordinator, Calvin McGee, who was under Rich Rod on that coaching staff. You're going to go fast. You're going to spread it out. So you're going to go from run-based option to spread it out and throw the football all over the field. I don't like that. And you've got players that were brought in to recruit to the option that are still here with you. I don't like that combination here, Gabe. I don't like the scheme change. I'm not sure the players are that are right now on this roster are a good fit for what they're trying to do. I know they're high on this new quarterback that they think is going to fit this offense well because they say he's got a good arm, and Tavaka Tuioti at the quarterback spot for New Mexico starting this season. But I'm going to have to see it before I believe it. This is a dramatic 360-degree offensive philosophy change. I'm not sure it's going to work out all that well.
I'm starting to buy into to Boise here, Pavano. Funny too, because I've always sort of been anti. You know what? Fuck it, man. Let's take the points. They're overrated. They don't cover. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at their schedule over and over. I just can't get over it. And I'm looking at all these teams. 4 of their 5 toughest games are at Boise. The Oklahoma State game, that's a tough one, but it's not a non-winnable game, and it's not a conference game either. But Oklahoma State have lost a lot, dude. I know that, they're going to reload, blah, 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 and all this other type of shit. There's also an Oklahoma State team that lost to Central Michigan on this field a couple of years ago. I'm starting to look at this. I was listening to what you were saying about them, but I just want to emphasize, I think Boise State could beat Oklahoma State in this game, and they're going to win more than 10 games. Like, honestly, it's good, but San Diego State are a little down right now as well. There's a lot of revenge. Like, I think Boise State are actually going to flex their fucking muscles a little bit. They've got a pretty easy schedule when you add it up, man.
There's a lot of pressure. There's whispers of, the New Year's Bowl for Boise State this season potentially. If they have the kind of
coming into this thinking definitely like they believe that they are that Power 5 team that goes to a bowl, non-Power 5 that goes to a bowl. Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to be this year's UCF essentially and play one of the big
teams. Past Oklahoma State, they could conceivably run the table.
Yeah,
like they really could. Like they're going to beat Troy. Okay, they're going to beat Troy. They're going to beat Connecticut at Oklahoma State. They win that game, man. Like then it becomes real for them. And I think they can beat Oklahoma State on the road. It's a tough one. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they can. So even that's one loss at Wyoming. They beat Wyoming. San Diego State goes to Boise. They'll beat them in Boise. Nevada suck. Colorado State, whatever. At Air Force or shit. They host BYU. Fresno State's the tough game, and that game is November when it's going to be a little colder. At New Mexico and with Utah State. To me, I'm looking at an 11-1 football team. I'd be shocked if this team only won 9 games. Like maybe they're 10-2 and I get a push, but maybe I can find a book with a 9.5. But I think this is an 11-win team. I think this is going to be their best run. Actually, I think finally it comes together for them here.
I think it's going to be 9, 10, or 11. It's going to be one of those 3 in terms of the season they have.
Who are they losing 3 games to? Where's the 3 losses?
Well, to me, Boise State is, like I say, I've had this issue with Boise State since Brian Harson's been there. I'm not one of those people that has been enamored with what he's done there. I think there's teams that they've underachieved at times. Last year, I know they had the brilliant comeback run, got by, won the Mountain West Championship
in 4 years. So he's averaged over 10 wins a season.
I know. I just think that there's been times where Boise State's gone through the motions, I should say. They haven't looked they haven't looked crisp. They haven't looked sharp in certain games. Plus, there's been times where I've had a tough read on Boise. There's teams I backed them, and they'd look awful. And there'd be times I'd go against them, they'd play better. So they've been a frustrating team for me. Maybe that's part of it. But for Boise State, to me, I just don't see the value. I mean, everybody knows Boise State's, supposed to win this conference or threaten to win this conference.
There's no value. You're right. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like betting 10s in college because you lose 2 games, you get a push. You know what I mean? That's
Brett Rippon gets hurt in week 3, you're fucked. Something like that happens. There's another thing to be concerned about. Yeah.
No, I think they can live with that. I didn't mind the other quarter. The kid they had the quarterback actually from the Kansas transfer. Fuck, I don't think he's still there.
Oh, Montel Cozart. He might not even be there anymore.
Well, I don't think he's there anymore. But they're a fucking stacked fucking football team.
Their defense is really good. That absolutely will be a good group. I know they lost that Van Der Esch kid. He was really, really good on that defense last year, but they've got guys that can take that spot for sure. No, they'll be really good. I just don't know if the ATS value will be there. New Mexico's that like I just said about New Mexico, they're going to be a little bit concerning for me. Hawaii's interesting. I mean, Hawaii won't have Drew Brown, but to me, Drew Brown was a disappointment a little bit last year. I mean, I was so excited for what he might have because Drew Brown, is now going to be at Oklahoma State, a graduate transfer there. So they've got something to look at in terms of their quarterback spot, but they think Cole McDonald's got a future. They like this freshman that they brought in, Siobhan Cordero as well, who's actually been one of the better young prospects at quarterback Hawaii's brought in some time. And Rolovich is a good offensive mind. So, I think Hawaii is not going to be in trouble just because they lose Drew Brown. I think he could have played a lot better for them. Their defense was bad last year, no question. Though I think they're going to be a little bit better this season. Defensive line, they've improved that a little bit. They've shored it up. The secondary looks like they're going to have some really solid cornerbacks this year, and they were desperately in need of that. So there's that Hawaii team that I think could be a little bit better than people think. And like I said, and you agree with me, I think they're going to hang tougher in Fort Collins against Colorado State in week 1 than people think.
They can, but I'd like to see what happens with their quarterback situation coming into this.
The good news is Colorado State's in an even worse spot with their quarterbacks because he's learning a new offense and a ton of skill position talent, and O-line pieces from last year are gone. So that's the good news for Hawaii in that first game.
I know Hawaii's lost a lot of guys, though. I'm looking at their depth chart here. Fuck. Yeah. They lost their quarterback, their running back, 3 of their top 4 wide receivers, 3 defensive linemen, and 3 starting guys in the secondary. So that's the bad news. Yep. The good news is they weren't great anyways. You know what I mean? Like that's what I always kid about when it comes to college too. I was talking about this with Marshall today. It's like, hey, Marshall have 17 guys coming back, starters. Yeah, well, they won 3 games last year. I don't know, is that good or bad?
Yeah, exactly. If the returning starters from a 2-3 win football team, is that a good thing?
The same returning starters for fucking 4 years in a row. Yeah. It hasn't worked out well for them. So sometimes like that's deceptive with this returning starter shit. But yeah, I know. I just, I'm with you. I don't trust Colorado State, but
I will be betting Hawaii. I will, and I'll show you the ticket when I bet it at the casino at the sports book.
I believe you, man. Settle down. I believe you.
Yeah.
The Bano's like, wait, you don't believe me?
Oh, I'll be on Hawaii. I like Hawaii. That's actually that's one of the spots in that first Saturday I circled right. That might actually be the only game I bet that day. I don't really like Wyoming, New Mexico State. That's a little bit of a weird one. I got questions about both teams. I'd rather bet against both of those teams.
But now I'm going to be on your case for Battle of Vegas. Like, we're going to be at the window.
I know.
Where's that ticket,
yeah, exactly. We're going to be sweating out Hawaii here on Saturday night.
Exactly. And listen, we can never say we're going to bet something in college. God knows, man. The kids might all get arrested or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So I won't hold you. I won't hold you any of these picks.
Gabe, how about this for a Saturday, August 25th when we're there, by the way? We've got 2 college football games. We got a week 3 NFL preseason slate with the walkthroughs. That's the biggest week of the preseason. Starters get the most time. Dress rehearsal week. You got that going on Saturday afternoon and night. Oh, how about a little UFC fight night in Lincoln, Nebraska, Saturday, August 25th, and a decent card too. Last I checked, so good stuff. Gaethje is in that main event, I believe. So lots of good stuff that night.
Yeah, Lou. We were talking about that with Lou, adding that the UFC adds, like you said, it just adds a nice little layer. Another event. We'll have some crappy college football games going on, NFL football. And as well, it's a good opportunity. Well, it depends whether you want to bet your futures online, Pavano. But there are, like, especially with college football, sell points pretty good for that. Like, I'll give them credit. Their college football win totals are pretty good. Like, even like I'm looking at Bet365 round, they don't have every college football team's win total. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
They have
a bunch of spots don't have all of them.
Look, it looks like a full sheet. It is, but they don't have everybody.
Oh, no, there's a ton of books offshore and in Vegas, Gabe. I've looked. I've scoured left and right. There's some that only offer the Power 5 teams.
Exactly.
Yep.
And if not the Power 5 teams, they might – a few exceptions. Like, I'm looking here. Like, you're right, actually. Like, a good example is Bet365. They have Boise State, Pavano. They don't have UNLV.
Yeah, they handpick which teams out of the non-power conferences they post a win total for. Yep.
That's where the money is. Like last year when I got FAU at 4.5, right?
Yep.
That's where, like, this year Tulane at fucking 5.5 and shit. Like, there's a few that I like, but
I like over there. I like that Tulane.
Exactly. Tulane's a real super.
We'll get to them down the road, but I like with Banks at quarterback. The defense is tough. They're physical under Willie Fritz. They do lose some pieces from last year's defense, but we'll get into them. I like Tulane.
Well, we'll get into Tulane. I'm big on Tulane, but fucking right. Bet365 has Boise State, dude, 9.5. I'm going to smash that, fuck. It's going over. They're going to get to 10.
See, that's a good number. You're betting a good number. That's a good 9.5. The good side of that.
Playing for a push because I wouldn't be surprised. Look, they lose at Oklahoma State, let's say, and then they stumble. Everyone stumbles at some point, right?
Yep.
They stumble their toe somewhere along the line. I still win the bet at 10-2. Bro, they were an 11-win football team last year. And they're fucking loaded. They're, like you said, their defense is stacked. Their defense got better last year. We're talking about a football team in Boise State that won 8 of their last 9 football games to end the season. They got a lot of confidence coming into this year. I think they're a dangerous team, Boise State. And like we said about Harsin, he hasn't had that. You know, he averages 10 wins a season, 42 wins in 4 years there. But they haven't had that Statue of Liberty fucking Fiesta Bowl moment with him. You know what I mean? He needs a big bowl game to get his name up there with Peterson there.
He needs to have his Jared Zabransky moment. He's got to have his Kellen Moore moment. That's what we're waiting for with Brett Rippon. Maybe it's going to be this year, yeah.
UNLV, interesting team.
There is maybe my single biggest undervalued juggernaut going into
their win. I don't know if they're undervalued because the win total is 6 though. Fuck, man, it's pretty.
That is, yeah. Well, it's been pounded as well. I believe that opened less than that when the. I think
I'm old enough to remember, Pavano, when fucking UNLV win totals were 2.5 every year. Wasn't that long ago, to be honest.
I think they'll be I think they ATS. I think they'll be 8-4 or better against the spread this season.
Yeah,
I don't know about straight up, but
talking win totals.
The win total is 6. That's tough because I think they'll be right on the fringe of that bowl game for the first time. Well, they went to a bowl a few years ago, but they were fortunate to. That was the game they played North Texas, I remember. What, it was 2-3 years ago. But
they showed heart with Tony Sanchez. They've shown heart. Their schedule's not easy though. Is Brooks still here right now? Is Don on the phone? It's only fun if Brooks is here because I was going to say they have a really easy game.
Oh, yeah, with USC, yeah. I like them plus points. They won't win the game, but I kind of like UNLV. I said that another time. I remember.
I do agree with Pittsburgh Brew. Sorry, Beto. I agree with Pittsburgh Brew. I'm way high on the Pittsburgh Panthers this year, bro. And you know what? Don't tell people about it because everyone's like, no, they don't. They suck. But don't tell people, Pittsburgh Brew. It'll be our little secret, and we'll cash on the season win total on the Pittsburgh Panthers over. Pittsburgh wins 6 games. They're going bowling. Everything's coming into place for the Pittsburgh Panthers. What's up, MVP? All right, so UNLV, they're not beating USC. They could cover the spread, though. You know, but I think, like you said, don't forget their quarterback too. He's from Los Angeles, Pavano, right? There's a big game for him going back to his hometown and shit. It's big for recruiting for them. I think they can hang around a little bit. They're not going to win the game. UTEP are fucking terrible. Like, UTEP are one of the worst teams in the country. And I think they learned their lesson losing to Howard a couple of years ago. So, yeah. Then you get Prairie View A&M. That's 2 wins. They're not going to beat Arkansas State at Arkansas State. So, let's say they have 2 wins there. They host New Mexico at Utah State, host Air Force at San Jose State, host Fresno at San Diego State, at Hawaii, at Nevada.
Yeah, the trickier games for UNLV are at the back half of their schedule, no question.
I don't see how they win 7 games. I mean, 6 gets you a push, but
you see, I liked it it was 5 or 5.5 earlier when I remember seeing that on Twitter when the college football season win totals first got posted. The very first ones, the virgin numbers, as our friend Teddy Covers would say, it was 5 or 5.5 with UNLV. 6 now is a big jump. Because now you got to get this team bowl eligible just for a push. That's tricky. That's at the point now where I like the over below 6. I don't like it at 6. It's like with you with Boise State. If you get 9.5, I think you got a decent overplay. If I can get 5.5 with UNLV, I think I've got a decent overplay. At 6, you know, what's the saying? You're not playing for a push, right? That's how you feel about Boise at 10. It's kind of the way I feel with UNLV at 6.
All right.
By the way, there'll be an over team. There'll be a very good offense, a little bit shaky defense. So will the next team we might be talking about, Nevada. I get the feeling we may be going there. That's a big-time over team, game to game. Ty Ganji and that offense is good, and that defense has got a lot of holes to fill.
Their win total 6 as well. That's crazy.
And I like UNLV a little bit more than Nevada. Nevada would be more inclined for under 6.
They were a 3-9 team last year. Now they got to win 6 games. Seems like a lot.
That is. Nevada's the team I'd like under that 6. I think UNLV will be a little bit better than them this season. I think Rogers has a little bit Ganji's good, don't get me wrong, but Ganji, I think Rogers is a little bit of a higher ceiling. I think UNLV defensively is going to be a little bit better than Nevada as well. That's going to make all the difference. I like what UNLV's recruited defensively on that side of the football a little bit more than what Nevada's done.
I like the under. I'm looking at Nevada's schedule here. All right, so they open up with Portland State. Portland State fucking aren't terrible. But let's give it to the Wolfpack. Nevada's not beating Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. Week 3, they host Oregon State. The Beavers are fucking terrible, but I don't think Nevada can beat them. Do you? I think Oregon State will beat them.
I don't think so. I would hope not. For Oregon State, I would hope not. Because if you get Nevada, who the fuck are you beating?
They're not good.
No. If Oregon State's not beating Nevada, who the fuck are they beating? They're probably not beating anybody in the Pac-12 if they don't beat Nevada. Maybe Washington State because they're in a little bit of disarray going into the season. But yeah, if your Oregon State doesn't beat Nevada, they're really staring at the bottom of a long barrel of a long season.
Oregon State's going under the number 2, actually, I think. But then they're at Toledo. Like Nevada's non-conference schedule is actually pretty difficult. Like at Vanderbilt's not a fucking fun time for them. Hosting a Pac-12 team at Oregon State, they'll be able to compete with them. They're going to get drilled at Toledo. They won't beat Toledo, in Ohio. That's not happening. Then they hit the road. They go to Air Force. They won't beat Air Force at Air Force. Fresno State are better than they are. Boise will fuck them up. They'll go to Hawaii. Maybe they win. Dude, this looks like a stone cold under to me. It really does. If I can find 6 here for real with Nevada, I'm very comfortable that this is not a 7-win football team.
After rhyming off that schedule, yeah, it's definitely a big time reason. And because when you look at it, and I've looked into these teams obviously going into the season, I see UNLV at 6 wins and I see Nevada at 6 wins, and I clearly think going into this season UNLV is better than Nevada. So there's got to be some kind of value on the under with Nevada if they're being priced win totals wise the same level and same number as UNLV, because I think UNLV is going to be better than Nevada this season. I really do. So to me, and now you've mentioned that schedule, Vandy and Oregon State and Toledo. And I know they lost Logan Woodside, but they're still going to be a very good program this year, Toledo. They're still going to be a tough out for Nevada. And that's on the road, I believe, that game too. So from that standpoint, yeah, under 6 makes a lot of sense to me with the Wolfpack.
All right, whatever. So other totals of note here. Fresno State, Jeff Tedford did a great job there. Your boy Steinhauer from Hamilton was the defensive coordinator there.
And look what he did with that defense. It was
not there anymore, though, and they went 10 wins. Me and Mark Lawrence talked about this too today. And teams, Pavano, and I think it's true, teams that overachieved the year before are good play against in college. Like even my Florida Atlantic Owls, like Mark brought up, it's big revenge. You know what I mean? Like last year, Florida Atlantic fucked a lot of teams up in the conference. So they'll remember this shit. It's like payback. And like last year, FAU kind of snuck up on teams. A classic example, guys, of a team that'll struggle this year like that will be UAB, the Blazers. If you remember UAB, Pavano, remember like they disbanded the program and then they rebanded, they put it back together last year and they shocked the world and they fucking, they went like 0-12 in the year they folded. They ran out of money. Like no one was a booster. It was a mess. They came back last year after 2 years off and somehow they went 8-5. Now their win total's like fucking 7.5 or something this year. I'm telling you, man, they'll be lucky to win 5 fucking games. Like they're going to regress. Teams know about them now. There's payback. They won a bunch of games by like 2 points last year and 1 point and shit. Regression's a bitch, man, in college football. It happens every year, man.
I'm disappointed because I said Jeff Tedford and Orlando Steinert, when I saw going into the season what that team was doing after the disaster that the Tim DeRuyter era ended in, I thought, boy, this team's going to be good eventually. But I had no idea at all that it was going to be that quickly, that they were going to do what they did last year in the very first season with Jeff Tedford. So now I'm worried going into this season. If I missed the boat, was last year my opportunity to bet Fresno State?
Was last year sort of a great year and one of the best years in school history? or are they really turning into a mini power and they're going to win 21 games in 2 years? Like, you got to ask yourself that,
That's good. I guess we'll find out this year. What I do know is they at least have their quarterback returning. Marcus McMaryion took over the quarterback spot late in that season. The Oregon State transfer. He played good. He's back again this season. That'll help. But yeah, I mean, that defense was dreadful just 2 years ago. Orlando Steinauer's there with Tedford coordinating that D, and the turnaround was phenomenal. Unfortunately, he's gone. Unfortunately, some of those starters on that side of the ball are gone. So
three linemen on the defensive side of the football. They lost 16 sacks, Pavano.
Yep.
16 sacks on 3 linemen, 32 tackles, 16 sacks lost. They have all their linebackers and defensive backs back, but their line is being revamped. Now, I mentioned they played a lot of close games last year. They won a lot of close games, but they also lost a lot of close games last year. 4 losses last year were by a touchdown or less.
Yeah.
So, they could be a good team still. I'm not writing them off here, but let's look at their schedule. It's not easy, Pavano. They open up with Idaho. That's a win. They go to Minnesota. They'll lose. At UCLA, lose. Host Toledo. Ugh.
They don't have a bad non-conference schedule in this conference compared to, say, Nevada and some other teams. It's a little bit weaker.
Dude, they're not beating Minnesota at Minnesota.
Minnesota's those guys. They've got some issues, but the trip that travel is tricky.
They're not going to beat a Big Ten team on the road.
No.
And do you think they're going to, even though UCLA is rebuilding, you think they're going to beat UCLA?
I don't, because I think UCLA could be better in year 1 under Kelly than some people think. It may take time, but I think they'll be. I think they were, and we talked about this when we did the Pac-12 last week. They were horribly undercoached under Jim Moore Jr. Horribly undercoached. That's going to change now.
So look, if their win total is 8 this year, Roberto, and let's just say they lose for a hypothetical standpoint. Let's say they lose at Minnesota, they lose at UCLA. They beat Idaho and they beat Toledo. We'll give the Toledo game at Fresno, okay?
Yeah.
That makes them 2-2.
Yeah, I'd give them that. Yeah.
All right. After that, they basically have to fucking run they basically have to go 6-2. They're at Nevada. They host Wyoming. They're at New Mexico, host Hawaii. The end of the season gets tough, man. At UNLV, at Boise State, host San Diego State. That's a tough 3-game run right there. I think they're in for a little regression, but I think their win total is correct, actually. Like, they won 10 last year. They regressed, but they're not terrible. So, as you said, they got their quarterback back. They got their offense is pretty good. They'll be able to replace a couple of linemen and shit. They got all their linebackers back. All their DBs are back. They're going to be, I think they're probably an 8-win team right on the number.
Going to be interesting to see what the pass rush is like, because that's the area where they're going to be a little bit leaky potentially early in the season. Their secondary is still really good. In fact, there are people saying they could have a top 2 or 3 secondary in this conference. Still Fresno State going into this season. So pass defense should be good, but can they get the pressure on the quarterback is going to be the big question mark. McMaryion, I think the offense is still going to be pretty solid for this group with McMaryion there. Yeah, I think they factored in this win total, the regression factor, that they're not going to be arguably the single best point spread. They were the single best point spread team, I think, in college football last season, Fresno State. It had a better ATS record than they did. They did. I don't think anybody did. I think they were either 10-2 or 11-1 against the spread last year. They were phenomenal. So that's amazing ATS record they had. They're not going to do that this year. That's why, from a week-to-week ATS value standpoint, going to be much harder to be a profit producer with Fresno State game to game.
Let's see, who are the looking for the point spread rankings from last year?
Oh, they had to have been first. I can't imagine anyone being a better point spread team last year in college football than they were. I mean, it was just like clockwork every week. They were winning games outright early in the season as like 17-point underdogs. That is how mispriced they were early in the season. Winning games outright at that number.
So, okay, we'll wrap it up in a couple minutes here. But San Diego State, their win total is 8.5. They've got a nice little they're almost like the new Boise State out there. Like, they've got a nice they've got a nice little program going. Coach Long does a great job, and yeah, they lost Penny, but the year before that, they lost Pumphrey, right? They seem to just replace. They recruit well. They seem to just plug in new running backs along the way. San Diego State, always a dangerous football team.
I think they're going to be good again. Obviously, you lose Penny, but rushing it, they're saying Jawan Washington, new running back, looks fantastic. He looks like he's going to be that powerful runner that Brashad Penny was, that Donnell Pumphrey was before him. All it is plug and play. You know how Texas Tech is plug and play quarterback?
He got touches last year too, that kid. Like, yeah. They do it well. Like before Penny got touches when Pumphrey was there. They really, exactly. Even if they have a go-to back, they make sure to fucking build the kid for the next year there. Like they really know how to build a program. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and with Rocky Long, you've got to develop the next running back because it's a run-heavy offense that they have.
7 returning starters on offense, including the quarterback as well.
And Christian Chapman is not going to wow anybody, but he's I don't want to use the term game manager, but that's effectively what he's been here at San Diego. But he's been a good game man. He's done really good. 35 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, Gabe, in his career. That's pretty good game managing for Christian Chapman, the quarterback of the San Diego State team. So he's good. He's experienced enough now. This is his 3rd season now as a starter. He's in a situation where he knows what it takes to just, rely on the run game, make the throws when they're there. Don't force the ball into coverage. He's done a good job not turning the ball over. That's what you want. San Diego State offensively, they're going to be fine, I think. Defensively, they were fantastic last year. Secondary looks like it's going to be strong. Remember, let's not forget, they played Arizona State and Stanford last year. They shut those teams down for the most part, and 2 Pac-12 teams. So it was a good defense last year. Should be a pretty good defense again this season. Linebacking core should be good. They got a pretty good defensive line again, but usually they do at San Diego State. They're going to be good again. I mean, all this talk about, I think because of Penny leaving, that they're going to be declining a bit. I don't see it. I think they're going to be really good. They're going to be a factor in the conference. They got a chance in it.
Lost a lot of offense. They lost a lot of their experience on the O-line, but I don't think they fall off the face of the earth or anything.
They're a contender still, I think. They'll be in the mix. Yep.
All right, Pavano. We'll see you.
That was a long conference because that's, I think, the most teams. I mean, the Mountain West has a ton of teams. Tons of teams.
Fuck, dude. I did Conference USA today. There's 14 teams in that one. 14.
I think we hit every one.
More than the CFL.
Yeah, more teams in these conferences than in the entire Canadian Football League. How about that? Yeah.
But the old days, it used to be like that, the Big 8 and shit, right?
That's true. And Halifax is eventually going to get to number 10. Before I leave, though, I want to mention one thing, and frustrates me because, I'm in the UFC, and I've become a huge UFC fan in the last 5 years. And I'm hearing people after Brock Lesnar's little episode with Daniel Cormier right after he won the title last night saying, "Oh, I'm done with UFC. They're becoming WWE 2.0. This is staged. This is all planned. They're becoming WWE again." Just calm down, will you please? I'm never going to order UFC. Calm down. You can't tell me you're not going to come back and order a big super fight down the road that the UFC puts on. Give me a fucking break. Come on.
All those people bitching are going to be the ones watching it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sick and tired. I heard so many people on Twitter, and I'm done with UFC. All this
stage. I that people say that now. They're like, "Oh, it's turned into." It's like, what do you mean it's turned into? It's always been. I know it wasn't like the WWE, right? When Rampage Jackson was coming out in the old days. And it's always been a show. Like I told people that for fucking years about the UFC. I said the UFC is the WWE with real punching. That's what it is. Yeah. Now, without a doubt, Conor McGregor has led that charge even more with the more smack talk shit. But the fact of the matter is, that's what sells. I mean, Brock Lesnar will sell more. Like, next time your buddies tell you that, they're not going to watch with Brock Lesnar. Just tell them, well, 1.3 million other people will. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's going to be a draw.
They sell. There's a reason why Brock Lesnar makes big money, because he fucking draws people. He does.
It's a damn business. And that's a way to promote what's going to be a big-time super fight, and heavily promoted, heavily marketed, heavily hyped when it happens in January or February, when DC and Brock finally face off.
People are way excited for it. People, Brock comes back. People love it. Fuck.
Exactly, and that's the thing is, I'm okay with any of that, staged or not. Who cares? It's there. If they push and shove and just try to get everybody interested in the future fight, okay. As long as the punches are real, the head kicks are real, the submissions are real, I'm fine. That's what I'm concerned about. As long as that stays real, I'm all good. I'm all good.
All right, good stuff, Pavano. So. Congratulations on just busting your balls. I'm glad you hit your pick and the round table. Good stuff. We expect nothing less, Pavano.
Well, after a couple weeks of struggle with the picks, yeah, it always helps when you get back on the win column. That's for sure with the round table best bet. We're going to go 4-0, I hope. I hope I didn't curse it here, fuck. But 3-0 Seattle in the 8th inning. We've got Donnie Rightside who gave the under 9 in that Seattle Angels game. It's 3-0 in the 8th inning. Can we get a 4-0? Can we bring this one home? Hopefully we can.
All right. So when are you on next? When's your next video up? You got a baseball video tomorrow?
Baseball play of the day video every day. SBR. I pre-record it, send it to them, and they post it. Hopefully we can crank out some winners with those. We'll have one tomorrow. We'll have CFL show every Tuesday during the summer. It's pretty light right now, Gabe. I do my MLB videos every day. I do your show Wednesday nights, and I do the CFL show every Tuesday. That's about it. That's the way I want it in the summertime. I want a life. I want some downtime. God damn it! I want to get out and enjoy some things.
I was busting your balls on the radio today. I was talking about. I saw you tweeting today. You were. I saw you tweeting. Did you watch the England-Croatia game? At a local bar today or something, or restaurant?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, they had the game on there, so I was watching that, enjoying a good lunch on a great day. It was a phenomenal day weather-wise, so it was good.
Afternoon beers.
Yep, couple afternoon beers, and
I know you're living the dream, like you said. You're real.
Yeah, this is the time to do that.
Retiree, Pavano. you live like a retiree. Me and Cam were talking about this today. I saw you tweeting. It looked like a nice place too.
That's good.
I showed Cam. He's like, "Look at this guy." I said, "Yeah." I said, "We got to do a 3-hour radio show right now. I got another 3-hour show later tonight."
I got to do it now, Gabe. Not going to do any of this crap in September, October, November, December, January, February, especially when it gets cold too. All these little, restaurant. No way. And it's too damn busy too. Every friggin' day there's games to do, shows to do, videos to do, articles to write. I got to get all my fun in now, July and August, because in September, it's hermit time for this man starting in September.
Live it up. We all spend too much time in front of computers as it is,
Yeah. You know what it's like. Come September, there's no life really outside of sports and betting and watching these games.
September, or June, October, December, whatever.
Any month for you.
Months are all the same to me.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. But no, get out there and enjoy life a little bit. Exactly. What are you missing, Fudge? Something on Twitter? You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the 2 months to do it.
Yeah. Larry, like you said, business is about to pick up. That's for sure.
Speaking of enjoying things, I know what we're going to enjoy on August 25th weekend, IFBC. I'm telling you guys, this thing's going to be off the chain, so to speak. Be there. It should be a lot of fun. Seriously.
Yeah, they better get there earlier than the 25th, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get in there. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday, even a couple days before it starts. I'll probably arrive Wednesday or so, something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of confused. I don't know when does it actually start? I think
they're doing a Friday Saturday thing again. I think
last year, if you remember, it was Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
This year, though, I think it's more sort of Saturday and Sunday, and Friday is just sort of like what we did Thursday last time. I could be wrong, but I think the Friday that there's no one speaking or anything. So I think Friday is basically everyone's going to get wasted. Friday night the meet and greet Friday evening, and everyone will get fucked up. And then Saturday is like the conferences. I think then there's more on Sunday, but I think, I'm not positive, but I think that's the way it's planned.
Oh, okay. So you definitely know more about it than I do, because I've heard barely any details up to this point about it. So I'll trust you. You heard that.
Yeah. Like I've told Zach Jones, I said, listen, don't I can't speak Sunday. So like I'm told him point blank, like I will not be in good shape. Like after 4 days in Vegas, like for Sunday morning to roll out of some conference. Like Saturday's not the best fucking for me either.
Hell, you were already taking a little cat nap in the back part of the conference room in Costa Rica last year. I remember on the one morning. Yeah.
Well, that was the day after. I didn't have to do anything on that day.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, get your Z's at that time. Get the rest you've missed out on.
Yeah. Plus Sunday, everyone's going to be beaten down.
Oh yeah. Good luck having people stay focused and zoned in on the people speaking on Sunday after a 4-day bender in Las Vegas. That's going to work out well.
I look forward to seeing who the celebrity guests are this year and what they have in store.
I guess last year it was Johnny Football, and it was apparently going to also be last year Chad Ochocinco, but he couldn't make it because there was a graduation of his kid or something.
Oh, so maybe it'll be Ochocinco this year.
Maybe. I just remembered that too. Chad Johnson was going to be there. Yep.
With Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, maybe. Wow. That'll be interesting if that's Colin Kaepernick. A little controversy, maybe. Who knows? In all seriousness, Manziel was a very, very good guest last year. He was, he took pictures with everybody, Gabe. You know that. Everybody. He would no problem taking a picture with anybody. Clearly, that's the case because he took one with me.
You got him back, and you got him a job.
Yep, I did. I put CFL in his head. All I said was give it some thought. That's all.
You guys haven't hung out. That's probably a good thing because he's trying to stay out of trouble.
No, he's enjoying his bye week on the Turks and the Caicos Islands with his really hot fiance there. I mean, she's absolute bombshell. But
is he in the Turks and Caicos? Really?
Yeah. That's what I saw a picture of it on Twitter.
I guarantee you, he's the only CFL player that is.
Yeah, he's got the cash for it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, his family. Fuck. Yeah. It must be nice for Manziel. Well, you know what? He's got money. He's making like fucking 200. What's making 180?
Yeah, and then you got the third string offensive lineman that doesn't even play every game, using his bye week to play work at Canadian Tire or something, or postal worker or something like that.
Yeah, Sully's in the backyard in Hamilton this fuck on the bye week. You know what I mean? So
no tropical island for you, Jeremiah, even though you're the quarterback starting for this team. Yeah.
Donnie Manziel's in Turk and Caicos. I think that's the first time anybody ever fucking CFL's ever been to Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
It's in the history of the Canadian Football League, it's the first time a player has ever gone there, I believe.
It's the first time I've seen it. That's for damn sure. I've never seen that before. It's a little out of the pay grade, if you know what I mean. CFL.
Hey, listen, settle down, Brett. Or Santa Cock. I'm a Canadian Tire fan. I support Canadian Tire. I like Canadian Tire.
Oh yeah, it's a good spot.
It's a good company. Yeah, I'm going to be the first speaker at 10 a.m. Saturday. No. I'm going to have to speak to Zach Jones about this and make sure that I'm not. I want to be like the last speaker Saturday. Like that's the thing. I want to be like the one that speaks at like 3 p.m, Kyle, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, we should find another spot to rail on. Yeah, he gets his job at Beaver Lumber's not around anymore, but that used to be around a long time. That's going way back, Beaver Lumber.
Look, big man on campus doesn't drink. We'll put him at 10 a.m. Like, we need to put like who else is like sober at the network? Like, can't be Jimmy the Bag.
No.
Like, that'll be gold. Like Jimmy the Bag and Loshak on at fucking 9 a.m. in Vegas.
Drew Martin looks like he doesn't drink, but he can party when he wants
to. Drew parties. That's the thing too. Like, man, you get to Vegas and shit, you get all fucked up. It's tough for the people to watch the conference too if everyone's too hungover, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Like I remember last year, they were gonna start like at 11 a.m. and I remember I rolled in. I wanted to see, I don't know who it was, Mark Lawrence or something. I think it was Mark. Mark was speaking, so I was like, I gotta get up for Mark. And fuck, they were like, yeah, he's speaking at 11. I remember I got there and the room was empty, and they were like, wow, fuck, man, everyone's all fucking hungover and shit. So they pushed everything back like an hour, and the room filled up and shit. So I'm gonna, Zach asked me actually. He called me today. He wants to speak and bounce a couple ideas. So, I'm gonna bring that up to him and just say, I know we're there and shit, but I don't know. I mean, I guess like fucking. I guess some people you can speak early in the morning, Pavano. You're not going to be up for 24 hours straight, are you?
Likely not. I'll have some drinks and maybe be a
I'll
little
throw you
buzzed,
under the bus.
but
I'm
not not
going to tell
not
Zach
piss
to
drunk.
volunteer to be the first one up at 9
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah, not piss drunk or hammered drunk, but I don't think. Certainly not the night before I speak if I'm going to speak that early. But we'll plan it so that we're not in that spot. That my piss drunk drinking will be in a time when it's going to be not paying the price for it when I'm up there speaking, if I am speaking. That is.
How long is your speech going to be? Like 4 hours? You better tone it down, Pavano.
Yeah. So exactly. If I'm going to do it, I don't know what, to be honest, I'm doing yet. I haven't heard anything yet about, what exactly what they want me to do. I'm willing to do anything.
Yeah, I don't.
Anything speaking, that is. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is yet either.
What I do know is we'll be putting together a bunch of speakers, there'll be some guests there. We'll be there. Big Man, everybody's going to finally get to meet Big Man in person, it sounds like, too. Donnie, of course. He'll have his cigars there with him, too. So that'll be a lot of fun. Everybody's going to be there. Kyle Hamburg, who's, always fun seeing him. Chris Edge, all our favorites that we've seen in the past. It'll be a good weekend. And Las Vegas, it can't beat it. We got lots of stuff going on, Gabe. Like I said, college football, NFL preseason, the big walkthrough week, a UFC fight card. Doesn't get better than that.
We look forward to it, Pavano. Great stuff, Pavano. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have another beer. Enjoy your night here, and we'll speak to you Friday on the radio.
Yep. See you Friday on the radio, Gabe. That's always fun with you and Cam. Thanks to everyone for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Keep it checking out sportsbookreview.com every day. Keep us going. Thanks, guys.
Pavano. See, we're nice. No soup. No soup cracks. No anything. We kept it clean with Pavano. We're going to start to we'll isolate our top 10, maybe 15 college football win futures for the season. Maybe 10 of them. I don't know. We're going to find quite a few. Yeah, you got through with no soup jokes. No soup for you. Yeah, we don't want it to get redundant, right? we can't go with the same material all the time. Except, yeah, we'll Pavano. Hard to give me a break with my birthday coming up. Had to give you a break. No, we didn't have to give you a break. I forgot it was your birthday. See, Jazz is on to you, Pavano. Exactly. Jazz notices. Yeah, Pavano, we get it. It's your birthday. I forgot. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm amazed you didn't. Like, Pavano doesn't bring up it's his birthday when he's on with us. So the first thing he does, he's got to jump in the chat right after. Who does that? He's got to jump in the chat right after and say, oh, yeah, it's my birthday next week. Pavano, you're talking about your birthday more than fucking like a 16-year-old girl getting a car. I don't know. I didn't mean to be a dick, though. It was Big Man on campus's birthday yesterday. I wished him a happy birthday on the show, but I should have tweeted him a happy birthday. But I didn't know. I sort of knew, kind of knew, but I'm rattled right now. What can I say? I told my mother I was going to call her back like fucking on Thursday. I realized I was like, it hit me today. I was like, man, didn't I say I was going to call my mother back? And then I was like, when was that? And then I realized, I was like, dude, that was Thursday. Fuck. It's Wednesday right now. I'm like, fuck, man. 4 days just passed. Fuck. Joey Odessa had surgery today. And we see Joey Odessa's tweeting all angrily after on Twitter, all you people that didn't wish me the best, go fuck yourselves. And I'm thinking, damn. I'm like, damn. Because, Joey told me to call him, fuck. Joey told me to call him. He's told me point blank. He sent me a message and he said, I'm getting surgery and I won't be able to talk for a little while. Give me a call. And, I did, but I got his machine and then I didn't. So he's probably all pissed. I can't lie. I should be better at these things, But I got a lot of things on my mind. I work too much. I'm on all the time, and I have a lot of my own problems, right? And quite frankly, I don't really fucking get upset when people don't tweet me or call me, fuck. Like, people don't call or tweet me about fucking anything. Oh, I'm sorry about this or that. Like, hey, how are you feeling? How's your health? Not good, but, I'm just not on Twitter crying about it. People try to kill me. Settle down, Pavano. Fuck. Look at this. Now he's asking for gifts. Me too. I don't even know when my birthday is. Fuck. Pavano. Now Pavano's like soliciting birthday gifts. What are you, like a porn star, Pavano? You have a wish list? What's your wish list website? What's Pavano? Pavano's going to have a wish list website. Amazon.com /Pavano. Pavano's wish list. A Hamilton Tiger Cat Lazy Boy chair, a plasma TV, a gift card for the local beer store. Yeah. You know what, Pavano? Just because you're talking about your fucking birthday so much, fuck, I'm going to get you a can of Campbell soup, fuck. You know what? I'm going to look for a Campbell soup t-shirt, fuck. If I can find a soup t-shirt for you. Or maybe I'll, we'll get you like a fucking gift certificate for some restaurant that only serves soup. But yeah, I know. When's your birthday anyways, Pavano? When's the official date of your birthday? Now you got us talking about your fucking birthday. What's the date? What's the date of your birthday? Free parkings. I think Pavano's birthday is like July 28th. He's just already talking about it all the time for some reason. July 14th. Oh, that's actually Saturday. All right. Yeah, we'll give it to you, Pavano. All right. Yeah, your birthday's in a couple of days. We take it back. Happy birthday, Pavano. Except, the fact, you started talking about it like last week. I don't know why people like, I never understood why people like birthdays. Hey, it's my birthday. Fuck, let's celebrate. What are you celebrating? You're 1 year closer to death. Celebrate that. Celebrate that. Hey, you know what? A year of my life is gone. I'm 1 year closer to dying. Fuck. Hey, congratulations. Here's a cake. Fuck. Great. Yeah, that's gonna fucking make everything. That's gonna make everything way better. Thank you. one year, 1 year closer to the end. I hate birthdays. Fuck. I don't like birthdays. I don't like my birthday. I'm not a big birthday guy. Like, I call my mother on my birthday because it's more her day. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, I didn't do anything on this day. I get depressed. I'm like, man, it's just 1 year closer to death. And I think of my mother. I'm like, you know what? On this day, you know what? She went through some pain to have me. So everything else will suck after. No, but yeah, celebrating making another year is good too. I will actually be in Montreal the weekend of my birthday. I will be in Montreal the weekend. I will be in Montreal the weekend of my birthday, August 10th, 11th, 12th, whatever. I'm going to spend a couple of days in Montreal, but due to the fact that just by chance, yeah, my birthday is August 10th, but by chance, Earl de la Perrelle, who's a good friend of mine, a football coach and all around philanthropist in Montreal, passed away, of course, recently. And on August the 11th is his team's first football game. So it's their first game without him as coach. And after the game, there's a party / celebration. So it's perfect for me because I missed a lot of this stuff in Montreal last time. So I'm already locked in. I know the date, whatever, the football game. So I'm going to a youth football game on August the 11th. I think my birthday's on a Friday. I'm not even sure. But I think the 11th is a Saturday. So I'm going to a youth football game. And then after the football game, there's like a banquet. And I'm going to speak and shit. I'm going to speak about Earl de la Perrelle. And there's going to be all the players and coaches and families. And so it should be a cool day. Yeah, we'll try to get a point spread for that. Sun Youth Hornets. Yeah, it's cool. And what's cool too is like where they play their football field is sort of right across the street from where the Alouettes play. So like it's on the mountain. It's on Park Avenue, like on Mount Royal type shit. So what's the name of that park? Fuck. I guess it's Mount Royal Park. I think it's Mount Royal Park. They've got the field turf football field, nice football field. But it's nice. You have the city skyline right there and shit. So yeah, nice way. Saturday afternoon. I used to be the honorary president of the football league itself, the entire league. I was going to coach. I told Earl, because he told me you should be a coach. So I told him, I said, man, I always wanted to be a football coach. Fuck. And I said, well, you got to start somewhere. So he goes, we'll hook you up. And they were going to put me with the fucking the 14-year-old kids, the 12 to 14-year-olds. And I just would have been an assistant. I would have started off like fucking special teams and, you know what I mean, just as an assistant with the coaches. But they sort of have a coaching chain, the way it works. And then they send coaches to your real coaches after and shit, right? So he told me, he goes, yeah, you'd be perfect, fuck. But I have the time, you know? I'd be grabbing the kids' face masks and shit. Hey, listen. Listen. I tell these kids, a lot of money was bet on you guys today, guys, all right? A lot of people are going to get very hurt and will be very hungry unless you guys win. There's a lot of poor kids on the team, too, so you tell them, listen, you guys know what it's like to go hungry. You guys grew up poor. Listen, you see those guys in the stands? They're going to be very poor unless we win this game. And quite frankly, your coach here is going to be in a lot of trouble. So if you guys can win this game, it would really, really help me out. It would really help me out. No, I could give the kids a great speech, like. Yeah, unfortunately, I bet on the other team. We won't be going for any pizza today. Yeah, I share a birthday with Kylie Jenner, Antonio Banderas, and Andre Drummond. I have a lot in common with Antonio Banderas, of course. Our good looks, our love of Melanie Griffith. What's up, Javier Castro? No, I would go hardcore on these kids, fuck. I tell the kids, you guys want to be losers, like the losers in your school? I say, you guys want to be losers like all your stupid loser friends are at high school, or you want to be something here? Basically, all you got to do, like, I would know how to motivate these kids too. I'd show up like with a picture of like the chicks that fucking Harden's doing on Instagram and shit. And I'd say, listen, your choice is this, all right? You're either going to be with some chick that works at Tim Hortons for the rest of your life, or you're going to be with this. If you listen to me and play hard, you'll be with this. If not, half of you will be in prison, okay? So, and I say that, it's true. That was my team. It was my team. Like, I swear to God, fuck, like 4 guys on my hockey team, like, are either dead or in jail. I remember our coach used to always tell us that too. He goes, you know, fucking, I used to think like a quarter of you would end up in jail. Now I think like half of you will. The Jim Pop, that's what did Jim Pop in with the Montreal Alouettes, actually. That's what did Jim Pop in with the Montreal Alouettes. Jim Pop was a longtime Alouette general manager, and he got so fucking pissed off about the way the team was playing. He went into the fucking locker room and he fucking said to the players that if you guys don't fucking start playing better, I swear to fucking God, you'll be in your fucking shithole fucking home fucking town next week working at a fucking Burger King. And they got all offended by it. You know, they were like, you know, that they were stupid, that, you know, that somehow that they were only, they were so stupid they could only work at Burger King's. And, you know, it basically came across wrong. The way that he said it was, it came, you know, and he basically told them, listen, you fucking pieces of shit, you're all going to work at fucking Burger King, and, you know, you can go back to your shitty fucking towns. Like, he basically just really laid into them, and they all cried after. Ooh. Where are you anyways? I don't even know. Where are you at, Kyle? I saw you tweeting a picture of a casino today. See, I'm out of the loop, man. I don't even know where you are. Where's Kyle been? I thought that picture of a beach and a casino was in Georgia. I was like, I don't know, man. He's in some fucking town in Georgia somewhere. Oh, you're in Atlantic City. So how come you're not with Big Man on campus? Where's Big? Yeah. Are you with Big Man right now? You guys hooking up at the casino? What's up, LV Joe? Good to hear you on the radio show. You met up with Donnie, but Big Man flexed on you. I know. I think we need to know. We need to start setting lines if Big Man's going to be in Vegas or not. He met up with Donnie, but Big Man. I never heard that term, like flexed on you. I like that. I'm going to use that. He flexed you. Is that what they say in Atlanta? He flexed on you. Fuck, I'm getting old and white, man. He flexed you, fuck. It's like fucking Kramer, fuck. They cheesed him. It's like, he flexed on me, man. See, that's what keeps me hip, talking to people like Kyle Hamburg. Big Man, he pulled an Andercuss. You got frog legs. Settle down, Joe. Let's just not use the word frog on this show in any context. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he blew me off. You're right. That's not a good one. He stiffed me. He's no good either. I would say that you're wrong, Cam. I would say the Big Man is betting on games. Big Man loves to gamble. Big Man probably bet like fucking 10 games today. Speaking of games betting, how are the Dodgers doing? 4-2 in the eighth right now. I got $100 on them. It pays back 166 if they win. I had a plus day today in the soccer, but I would have preferred if England would have qualified for betting purposes. But I was still plus money on the day. You know, we told you the game would be a draw. I see Scott. What up, Scott Ramsey? We're going to get out of here in a couple of minutes, guys. But You guys notice this shit? I know, speaking of degenerate gamblers, which we all are here, is what the fuck's up with, like, so what, Bet365 is now taking action on Canadian fucking cricket. I didn't even know there was a Canadian cricket league. The Vancouver Knights against the West Indies B. And fuck, the other day I was watching Montreal as a fucking team. It was like Montreal versus Toronto in this shit. Like Bet365 is no, the virtual, we're out of virtual for a couple of days. We got played on this shit. That's the worst, Scott. I hate that shit. You don't get bets in and they win. No, I didn't say I have the Dodgers at plus 166. I said $100 pays 166. $100 on the Dodgers and you get back $166. Actually, a pretty crazy number, actually. I didn't realize this. I'm just looking now. I staked $100 on the Dodgers to return $166.66. 666, the number of the beast. I have the fire. I have the force. I have the power to make my evil take its course. I will return. Dun 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 dun, yeah. It's like a tournament, huh? I'm not betting on it. I don't bet on cricket. We're pretty degenerate, as you guys know. I don't have to tell you, but I don't really bet on cricket. I've made mistakes betting cricket. See, Kevin Durant, for some reason, is feuding with a high school kid on Twitter right now. This kid, Kevin Durant, you are the strangest motherfucking basketball superstar ever, man. There's some kid, man. He's a teenager. Like, some teenager is fucking keeps tagging fucking Kevin Durant. There's no burner account on this, but like, he keeps tagging Kevin Durant and like saying about how Kevin Durant's not a real leader and shit. So Kevin Durant actually fucking tweets this high school kid and says, Kevin Durant sends a kid like address messages telling him, fucking stop fucking talking about me. Dude, I've said this before. Kevin Durant's insane. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, as good as you are as a basketball player, bro, you are the fucking you're the most thin-skinned, insane person ever. Kevin Durant, Kevin, you are the two-time MVP of the NBA Finals, bro. You have a $350 million shoe contract. You make $31 million a year. You're taking a pay, like, just, you own like houses. You own like this fucking mansion now, like in Malibu and shit. Why do you care if a kid is tagging you in tweets? Like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never, it's just, you can't make this shit up, man. Kevin Durant tweets the kid. I get it. You obviously want people to respond to it. So I did. If you can't respect that, then Kevin Durant's got a point. He's like, you got my attention, fuck. You know what I mean? You want people to talk about your tweet, you know? He goes, do you tag all of your followers in your post all the time? Did you want me to view it? I did. Kid goes, I respect your game and understand that you think that you're greatest scorer ever, but I just don't think you can lead a team. I just don't think you can lead a team like Steph and Bron. Doesn't mean that you aren't the best one-on-one basketball player, but it means I take those guys over you. Kevin, he goes, if you don't like what I say, you can use this as motivation to prove doubters like me wrong. Kevin Durant goes, buddy, nah, buddy, you're like 12 years old. He goes, your opinion will not be used as any motivation. He goes, you've got people thinking that since I get buckets in the NBA, I'm too big and famous to be a black man at 7 on a Tuesday scrolling through Instagram. You're too funny. I like Instagram. I like basketball. You got to be tripping. I'm not going to chime in here every time, though. LOL. So Kevin Durant, you kind of made your own point here, bro. You are fucking arguing with a 12-year-old kid on fucking Twitter about basketball, man. Because he says he likes fucking, this kid says, I think Steph Curry's better than you. And you're fucking responding to him. It's actually just funny. Like, it's actually, I don't know why he starts talking about being a 7-foot black man. It's actually funny, though. Like, it's to the point where Durant is just, it's actually funny. That now we know, essentially, if you tag Kevin Durant in any tweet, he reads it. Like, that's all it took. It's all it took is for this kid to include Kevin Durant in a bunch of tweets about how Steph Curry is more of a leader than he is. And Kevin Durant sends the kid a fucking direct message telling him to shut up. It actually almost makes my night. Fuck. The sheer pettiness of Kevin Durant makes my night. It's just like, can you imagine like being Steph Curry or one of Kevin Durant's teammates thinking like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Like, what do you care, bro? You just said he's a 12-year-old kid. Like, what do you care? And the fact that Kevin Durant tells this 12-year-old kid that, no, you're 12 years old, your words mean nothing to me, you're not inspiring me, means that the kid's inspiring him. Kevin Durant's going to be hitting the gym tomorrow, hitting shots, thinking that little fucking pisshead kid. Exactly. This kid's going to be like a fucking basketball blogger because of this in a couple of years now. It's like the kid that pissed KD off. I think Belgium beats England. I think England are more devastated and will care less about the third place game. I think Belgium beat them. Yeah, Steph. Yeah, exactly. Good call, Paulo. Good call, Paulo. Steph Curry's doing fucking Cadillac commercials and shit, and fucking Kevin Durant's fucking arguing with 12-year-old kids on Twitter. No, England didn't riot. They seemed to be pretty, they were depressed and shit, but they were drunk. But no, I didn't see them rioting. Here's our boy Joey Odessa sending a message in right now, actually tuning in. Shout out to Joey Odessa. I like his thing too. I read it in covers the other day or somewhere. It was like the Odessa line or MMA Junkie. It was like the Odessa line. Yeah, I'd say you should use that. Joey's good at branding himself. It's good, smart to do that. Fucking Milos Raonic, big choker today. What a shock. What a shock. Fuck, Bryce Harper hasn't hit shit all year. Turns out the guy was Australian. Yeah, no, I was tweeting out a bunch of pictures. I was reading the British tabloids and shit, and there was a few, whatever, but it seemed mostly like they were drained. Like instead of like smashing shit, like they're out in the sun all day, they're all wasted. You know, it was more, you know what I mean? It was pictures of like soccer. There was a lot of pictures of fans sort of just beaten down on the sidewalk and shit. Not like fight, but sitting there dejected, people fucking lying down, like fucking on the ground like this. And it was a big booze fucking thing. But no, they didn't smash shit. I think England's changing a little bit. Yeah, Anderson beat Federer today. Yeah, mini Bubbles, little Bubbles. That little kid looks like Bubbles, man. All right, so I got to get out of here. But so what's the best bet for tomorrow? I'm not big on overnight bets. I see Philadelphia. Philadelphia's at Baltimore. Fuck, am I ever sick of the Brewers screwing me, though. Blue Jays and Red Sox. Red Sox minus 165 tomorrow. Nationals are minus 230. Stripling was just named a all-star today. He was all jacked up. Stripling's pitching tomorrow for the Dodgers, minus 210. I don't know. We're going to have to sleep on the overnight picks here. Sort of looking at the Calgary Stampeders tomorrow night, though. I'll respectfully disagree with Pavano. I think Calgary's the play and shows up tomorrow. They don't like Ottawa. And just because they beat them once earlier this year doesn't mean they don't want to beat them again over and over. I don't think Ottawa are that good, but the CFL's been kind of a weird league this year. I do like the Argos plus the 8.5 on Friday night, though. We're looking forward to that. Should be cool. So we appreciate you guys joining us. So we're going to try one more time tomorrow to give away some of the tickets. I saw you guys talk a little baseball trivia earlier. If you're wondering what the questions are like, here are some of the questions. Name the current ESPN Sunday Night Baseball crew. Name the current Sunday Night ESPN Sunday Night Baseball crew. Pretty easy, fuck. Like, you're not kidding, Ramsey? You like that? You like that pick, Vancouver Knights? All right, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, Bat Fats Gershon. That's actually like the easiest fucking question that we have. Fuck. What base runner has been caught? What base runner has been caught stealing the most in Major League Baseball history? Who's been thrown out stealing bases the most in MLB history? Yeah, Chris Edge got it. Chris Edge is correct. Ricky Henderson. Anyone that's really, really successful at something, they're going to fail a lot too, right? So Ricky Henderson stole the most bases, but the motherfucker also got thrown out the most too. Just because he attempted so many fucking steals, right? Which player has the highest career ever WAR, wins above replacement? WAR is some sort of a modern stat, but they've done it for every player over history. Which player has the best WAR? Wins above replacement. If you know baseball, they're not that hard. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. Those are the easy questions. Like, here's one. Fuck, here's like a tough one. No one's going to get this. Who are the only two players to hit home runs for both sides of the plate on opening day? Who are the only two players to hit home runs from both sides of the plate on opening day? Yeah. Like, fucking, that's stump the Schwab shit. Like, Schwab would fucking have to think about this. I don't know. I wouldn't know. We're making it easier because no one can answer the question. So we don't have a choice but to easy them up. What's cool, though, you learn about baseball history doing this stuff, too. had Cam Stewart. Cam Stewart today. We asked the question, which pitcher has lost the most games in Major League Baseball history? It's pretty direct. Which pitcher's lost the most games in Major League Baseball history? And Cam's like fucking right away. Cam's like, I know this. If he doesn't know it, can I answer it? I'm like, yeah, fuck. So he was so confident. Cam's answer for most losses in Major League Baseball history was Jamie Moyer. He was so like, he's like, it's Jamie Moyer. I know this. He goes, I know this answer. It's Jamie Moyer. I'm like, it's not even close to being Jeremy Moyer, Cam. Like, it's not. I said, why do you think it's Jamie Moyer? He's like, well, you know, he was in the league for like 20 years and he lost a lot of games. I'm like, yeah, it's a good point, but does it mean he lost the most games ever? The way he said it, yeah. I know this answer. It's Jamie Moyer. It's like, no, it's not Jamie Moyer. He's like, how much am I off? I'm like, by about 116 losses. Fuck. Cy Young. He's like, Cy Young. I said, yeah, Cy Young won the most, but he lost the most. Fuck. You know, the fucking dude, fucking in those days, there was no relievers and shit, man. The pitchers got every decision and shit. You know what I mean? So that's why he lost a lot. You know, it's not like he wasn't good. He was involved in every goddamn decision that he pitched it. Although I think the funniest part of, we got to get out of here, but I think the funniest part of the fucking show today. So Clam Chowder, God bless him. Clam Chowder keeps trying to get in, all right? So it's been 3 days in a row. Scott Ramsey is correct. It's been 3 days in a row that Chowder's called in today. So the other day, Clam Chowder says, I asked Clam Chowder, who's the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers? So he's like, Milwaukee. And he's like, Milwaukee. So today I asked fucking him the exact same question. I'm like, all right, Clam Chowder, who's the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers? And he couldn't answer. So then I said to Chowder, I'm like, all right, Chowder, spell Milwaukee. It was one of the funniest radio things ever. Fuck. Like, it was fucking gold, man. So I'm like, spell Milwaukee. Can you spell Milwaukee? He's like, yeah, I can spell Milwaukee. So he's like, M. And you know when he talks, he's like M, I, L, W. And then there's a big pause. There's a big long pause. And I'm like, Milwaukee. And he's like, yeah, he's like M, I, L, W. And then there's a long pause again. And then he's like, K. I'm like, basically you spelled milk, fuck. He's like, K, Milwaukee, M-I-L-K. It was the way he delivered it. You have to listen to it. The podcast is up. The way it was like M-I-L, he did it fast too. He's like M-I-L-W-K. It was fucking good. I was getting tweets from people. I was getting tweets from people. They're like, dude, I just fucking spit my drink out at work here. So Big Man saying, set the line. Minus 5,000. No. That's what I was saying earlier. The odds are the odds. The odds are changing. All right, so tomorrow, once again, we're going to try once again tomorrow, guys, all right? Although I like where they're going with this because they basically stated if no one gets this by the end of the week, me and Cam get the tickets. I like this. It's a cool station. Normally they'd be like, "Well, we got to give them away somehow." I like Cardano's style. He's like, you know what? If your idiot fucking callers can't answer these fucking easy questions, then you and Cam are going to the World Series. So the only thing is, somebody got to third base on Carton Show. We had one guy get to second base that was pretty good with us, but you can follow me on Twitter, Sports with Scott. I'll tweet out the number tomorrow. At 5:20 Eastern time, we ask baseball questions. If you answer 4 baseball questions in a row successfully, you'll get 2 tickets to a World Series game. But the catch is, though, you have to get to the game. You're getting 2 tickets to the game. You're not getting airfare and a hotel and all that shit. But basically, the World Series is going to be in New York, Boston, LA, Chicago, or Houston. So it'll be on the East Coast. You know what I mean? It'll be somewhere. Well, Jazz, look, we gave away 2 Super Bowl tickets. I didn't, but the contest did. And it turned out one guy went to the Super Bowl and one guy sold it. One guy said I would go, but I can't go. I don't have the money. He basically stated, I don't have the money for the airfare. I don't have money for the hotel. So whatever. It was his ticket. He sold the ticket. He won a Super Bowl ticket. They gave away 2 Super Bowl tickets, and one guy went, and one guy sold the ticket. One guy went alone. I guess his buddy sold the ticket, or one of the winners sold the ticket. He got $3,000 for it. Sorry, he got $5,000. Sorry, $5,000. Pretty crazy. He got $5,000 for the Super Bowl ticket because it was a good ticket. The cheapest Super Bowl ticket's $3,600. So it was it was like a $4,800 ticket. He got $5,000. He got $5K for it essentially. So one guy decided to go to the Super Bowl, and the other guy sold it online and got $4,800 for it or something. Yeah, there's no way in hell Cam would pay to go to the World Series. World Series tickets not worth $5,000 though. Depends on the city. I remember last year the World Series, the Astros, it was $800, $700 to the cheapest ticket. All right, so we got to get out of here. We're done. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Big Man on Campus will join us maybe tomorrow or for sure Friday. He normally joins us Friday nights. Been joining us throughout the World Cup. On Friday, we'll break down the World Cup final, France and Croatia. overnight lean right now to the Calgary Stampeders in the over tomorrow night. But I'm fried. I gotta recharge the batteries here. This fucking pissed me off, man. It's 1:30 in the fucking morning, and I gotta fix my blinds, man. My blinds keep falling. Fuck. I don't feel like doing this right now, but I don't have a choice. So I gotta do this because otherwise, all my neighbors above me are gonna fucking be looking into my fucking room all the time. I don't want that. So I gotta fix my fucking blind. I have this weird she has these weird paper fucking things, and one of them fell. It's like a fucking shit show. Fuck. So, anyways, I appreciate that, Money Tank. Thanks for the kind words. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. CFL tomorrow night on the show. Kenny Fong. See you later, Kenny. Check out SBR's videos throughout the day tomorrow. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/sportsrage. Thanks to Campbell Soup and Bobetto. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.